I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called RiduZone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to RiduZone.com and try today. You're going to love it. RiduZone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. Mothership has landed. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, the mighty MoJo 50.
All right, that's entirely too happy. That music entirely too happy. Way too happy this morning. This is.
Why are you not happy, Brad?
This is more the style this morning. By the way, bye Facebook.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, they're going to mute us.
Yeah.
Let's not say anything important during the song.
The winning lottery ticket numbers for tonight are... Do you know we've had like 7 inches of rain?
It's
in
nuts.
Parts of our area here. I mean, not in beautiful downtown Haltom City because it's always beautiful and sunny here, but...
Well, this morning was a complete train wreck all the way around.
Thank you. The MoJo River is flowing freely, though. It's a beautiful day on the banks of the beautiful MoJo River. By the way, do you know how Brooke Benton died?
Who?
Brooke Benton. Rainy night in Georgia. He, pneumonia. Ironic.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Too much time in the rain.
I cannot believe.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is? We're wishing the rest of our life away. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
It is Wednesday, yes.
See, that threw me off because we had the big meeting last night. Woohoo! And that's usually on Monday, so then you feel like a
throws
Tuesday.
you off the rest of the week.
So it's actually Wednesday today, and happy hump day.
For the record, instead of sign language, I can't see your computer screen.
Oh!
FYI. Because even if I tried to do the sign language, you'd tell everybody I
wouldn't know what you were saying. I would have no idea. Here it comes. There it is. Now you've got me. Just in time. Oh, before I do that, wait a second. Hold on. Just so you know, just to make yourself feel better about yourself this morning. You see that picture on my screen, right? Go ahead and you can take that full screen. You know who that is? Any guesses? And one person got it right. One person got it right. Any ideas?
I was going to say Alec Baldwin.
It does look a lot like Alec Baldwin.
At first glance, it does.
That is not Alec Baldwin. That is MacGyver.
What?
That is Richard Dean Anderson. Yep.
He lost his mojo.
Yeah. So when you think you're having a bad day, you just remember that picture right there that tweeted it out this morning. Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver, and well, you know what? He looks happy.
He does, but he looks. I mean, he's honestly, he.
Yeah.
Kind of blends in now.
Time is a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of, when asked if she thought the president committed obstruction of justice, here is what Hillary Rodham Clinton had to say in an interview with Time magazine yesterday. Oops, hang on a second. That's still Brooke Benton playing. That doesn't sound anything like Hillary Clinton. I have to go over here, move that. That goes there.
Oh, yeah, you got to shut Brooke Benton off.
I know, right? He just keeps on yammering. Here's Hillary Clinton when the interview at Time magazine asked her if she thought the president committed obstruction of justice.
Well, I think there's enough there that any other person who had engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted.
Ha! Is that the pot calling the kettle black or what?
I guess she didn't say, since I took part in those actions,
Right.
I should be indicted.
Have you ever met people that really, they repeat their own lies to themselves long enough that they actually believe them themselves?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was married to that. I won't say which one that avoids
Really?
the lawsuit. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely. They repeat the lie that they have concocted themselves so often and so convincingly, quite frankly, that they begin to believe their own PR. And that is the case of Hillary Clinton.
Because of the rule in the Justice Department that you can't indict a sitting president, the whole matter of obstruction was
She said whole matter.
very directly sent to the Congress. I mean, if you read that part of the report, it could not be clearer. I mean, as I read it, basically what I thought it was saying is, look, we think he obstructed justice. Here are 11 examples of why we think he obstructed justice.
Hey, how'd you enjoy the part about where your husband had phone sex with Monica Lewinsky? Did you like that part?
Why do people still put her on a stage?
That's a good. That's what we're doing right now.
Why is she
actually.
even still relevant, frankly?
She is entertainment. She is the epitome of. She's the epitome of failure, really. Although I guess you could argue the woman did make it all the way to the Secretary of State. I mean, she played a major role in government, but her ultimate goal of becoming president, it's technically it's not over yet. I guess she still could be. Don't write her off just yet. But the fact that she continues to insert herself in the public stage, and she has enough of a name that people will continue to put her out there.
I guess. But damn,
she is
shut the hell up.
She is delusional when she says things like this.
Justice, but we're under the control of the Justice Department, and their rule is you can't indict. But we do have checks and balances in America, and there is this thing called the Congress. I mean, you could not be more explicit than, please, look at this. You may look at it and conclude it doesn't rise to an impeachable offense. That's your job, but I'm giving this to you. Yeah.
Well, and then, of course, the unredacted, the redacted part about her husband having sex with Monica Lewinsky on the phone. But who's counting?
That was in the Mueller report?
Yeah, that was one of the redactions.
How do we know that?
We have sources.
We do?
Yes, we do. We have sources.
Why in the hell would that be?
Redacted?
No, why in the hell would it be in his report?
Why would the president having hookers pee on a bed be in the report? Because it's salacious. It gets
because
headlines.
it has to do with Trump. But my question is why was Bill Clinton
this is all
in the Mueller report?
This is again all of the you've got grand jury testimony, you have ancillary investigations that that track off their roots go in other directions, and that's the whole reason that you are theoretically redacting information from the report is because there's ancillary information that doesn't necessarily pertain or doesn't necessarily need to be made public knowledge,
right?
And hence the redactions,
right? Okay.
And hence the somebody decided that by golly they were going to let it out that the phone sex with Monica Lewinsky was going to be in there. So there you have it. Speaking of having it, former Vice President Joe Biden is expected on Thursday to announce that he is in the race. See, I think he's making a mistake. He needs to wait until like 4 months before the election.
You think so?
Yeah. He's a face of what, 23, 24 now?
Dude, Rush Limbaugh lit into him yesterday.
About,
well, I think Rush Limbaugh had a Matlock moment yesterday in his yelling and screaming, talking about Biden was their best chance.
Right.
But he ain't gonna win.
I don't think he's going to win either. I think that
I don't think he'll win the primary here. Rush does.
They're taking everybody down. I mean, they're taking the Buttigieg, whatever his name is, Mayor Pete. He is, he's got the police force there. A couple of the, I guess, either the black police officers or police chiefs are saying that there's some racial discrimination going on in the police department, thanks to Mayor Pete. So I mean, it's just it's all over the board, and they are going to end up being victims of their own identity politics.
Right.
Joe Biden is 76. They say he will announce on Thursday. He'll meet with union workers next Monday in Pennsylvania. That was a state that actually backed Trump in 2016, and then he's headed to Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada. So there you have it. He says he will, in fact, run. Well, he's scheduled to announce on Thursday. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the Jussie Smollett fallout continues to fall out. The two brothers that he allegedly hired to allegedly attack him on that alleged night.
Allegedly.
The brothers, their names are Olabinho and Abi Mob.
I was going to say Usay and Kusay, but we'll let that go for now.
Let's just go with Ola and Abi. Ola and Abi Osundari. Let's just go with Ola and Abi. They filed a federal lawsuit yesterday. They've accused Jussie Smollett's attorneys, Mark Garagos, and the law firm of which he is a partner, that the brothers led a criminally homophobic, racist, and violent attack against Mr. Smollett. They are saying that that's basically it's defamation, and they are seeking a whole bunch of money.
So what makes it defamation, Brad?
Because, they're saying that that's exactly the way it happened, that Smollett hired them to beat him up. And, of course, Smollett's out there saying, I never hired them to do that. They're lying.
Yeah, we haven't heard the last of this.
Of course not.
This thing's going to go on for years. But the bottom line is Jussie Smollett, his career
he's going down.
Is probably at an end.
Yeah, he's going down.
I got you.
As you see, he's...
Let's just assume that he has.
He's going down. You got to get him where you can get him right now. He's. I mean, this is going to continue on. It's a circus. It's a dog and pony show. You couldn't ask for a better cast. You've got Kim Fox up there, who is, crooked as a dog's hind leg, and the two brothers. It's a circus. You couldn't. It's more like an episode of.
I just looked over at my dog's hind leg when you said
it's
that.
Crooked, isn't it?
It's crooked.
It's very crooked. Hence the old saying, "Crooked as a dog's hind leg."
Yes, my dog is here with me today.
Griffin is a good boy, is what he is. Griffin's a good boy, very good boy. By the way, some funny mothers-in-law stories. Because in looking up from MoJo Wild Rice, of course, they have the Mother's Day gift package that you can get for your mom to show her how much you love her. So I was looking up some mother-in-law horror stories. Here's one. Within the first 15 minutes of meeting my mother-in-law for the first time, she casually ripped out her breasticles and started to show me a strange mole she was concerned about. Then she went into great detail about the vaginal mesh she had just put in. Thankfully, she didn't whip that out to show me.
Was he a doctor?
That's a good question.
Had to have been a doctor.
Either that or it was the woman. Maybe it was the woman whose mother-in-law did that.
Oh, man.
Another story. On the way out the door to the rehearsal dinner for my wedding, my mother-in-law patted my stomach and asked if there was something I wanted to let everyone know about why we were getting married, implying that I looked pregnant. She wasn't pregnant.
I love the picture with this story.
I know.
Let me just show that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the picture that goes with this story.
Yeah. Hey, look, I found an extra one just for you.
Bad Amy.
Uh-huh.
I hate that I knew that.
And what's that from? Not Glee. What's that from? What movie's that?
Until you asked me, I knew.
It's not Glee. It's Fat Girl Singing. It's the
acapella movie.
Yes, that one.
Come on, somebody.
See? I remember what I said about time being a bitch? It's really a bitch. Another story of a horrible mother-in-law story. I was hosting Thanksgiving dinner and spent about 7 to 8 hours cooking.
Pitch perfect.
That's it. I knew it. My mother-in-law showed up with duplicate dishes of just about everything I made. We told her to bring only 2 dishes tops. When I commented that we had a lot more food than I was expecting, she said, well, we really don't need to put yours out, do we? Just put yours in the freezer.
Oh.
Those are the mothers-in-law I would not recommend going to MoJo Wild Rice and ordering the Mother's Day gift pack for, because it's a hopeless case. I mean, you might as well just write that one off. Just forget about it. But for the rest of you who don't have those horrible, horrible stories about your mother, or your mother for that matter, or your grandmother, either way, or your wife. I mean, she's the mother of your children if you have any that you're aware of. Go to mojowildrice.com, and if you use promo code MOM10, you will get 10% off the Mother's Day gift pack 2019, which has all kinds of goodies in it. They're perfect for mom. By the way, didn't I hear Patrick say last night that he was going to whip up a few delights from the Mother's Day gift pack?
I think so. We were talking about nostalgia, and he thought that maybe he could do some food service
Just thinking.
in the studio.
I don't see his happy ass in the kitchen making anything right
I think
now.
Patrick's still asleep.
Rough night. You have no idea. By the way, next to the in the MoJo 50 kitchen, there is next to the coffee maker, which has, of course, the American Pride Roasters coffee in it, which is Ron's sexual chocolate this morning.
Yeah, it is.
The number 1 tequila bottle sitting next to it. And boy, was I tempted to pour a shot in the coffee this morning. I thought, what the hell, if we're going to do this, let's do it in style. Let's just, let's go out in big fashion. But I didn't. Remember those old H&R Block commercials? Let's see if this one, not even sure if this one will play for us.
We're prepared for all kinds of tax situations, from the simplest to the most complex. Don't shortchange yourself on your taxes. Come to H&R Block.
So, Henry Block, co-founder of H&R Block, has died. Dude was 96 years old.
I'm surprised with all the stress of tax seasons every year, the man lived to be 96.
Oh, some people, I mean, they live for it. Accountants are freaks.
I guess. I wanted to be an accountant once.
If you would be a freak. Anybody who wants to deal with numbers all the time and the IRS, freak. Not quite as bad as the people who are into feet, but very, very close. You want to know something really funny? This actually comes from CNN. You notice the right there on the screen how it spells his name, right?
I was just about to ask you that question.
Yeah, right there on the screen in the commercial. In the commercial that they have the video of the commercial on CNN. They've got a shot of the front of the store with H&R Block, H&R BLOCK. So how do they spell it in the
story?
In the header of the article? Henry Block, BLOCH. I think Nathaniel Meyerson of CNN Business might want to head back to might want to use spell check next time he's doing that.
Wow.
It's the little things.
Maybe. Okay. So are we sure the guy's real name is not BLOCH? That's something.
Does it? Well, okay. In the commercial, they have his
Don't
lower.
get me wrong. It does say Henry Block right at the bottom.
Yes. I mean, wouldn't you?
Maybe Nathaniel knows something we don't, Brad.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Maybe that's absolutely true. I would prefer to just say that they got it wrong. Now, here's a creepy video that is up on the Metro news site in the UK. This is just really creepy. This is video of the...
Is this something I can show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. This is video of the one of the suspected Sri Lankan bombers as he walks through a crowd and he pats a little girl on the head.
Is that him right there?
I believe so. I think this is the...
He got a big old backpack and front pack strap.
Let me make sure this is the right video. Let's just refresh that page because he walks by this little girl and he pats her on the head, and it is just, again, it's one of those, it's kind of one of those spine-tingling, chilling moments. It's like seeing Charles Manson. I think this is the part. They've obviously found. Here he is. He's walking up to the sidewalk. He's got a backpack on.
That's him on the left,
and he picks it up.
Passes
he just
the
pats
little
this little girl on
and
the
says
head.
hello. Yeah.
Which again is just okay. You're that little girl.
Well, she doesn't know it now.
No, she doesn't know it now. But in 10 years, she's going to be. Look, here's when the serial killer touched you. That's just. I don't know. It's just creepy. That's just And again, I ask, what kind of animal
It
does
says the
that?
suspected suicide bomber was so calm prior to detonating a bomb, he stopped to pat a girl on the head.
Yeah. Animal.
There is
Nothing.
not a conscience in that body.
I told you that a psychologist that I saw her. It was a friend of mine, whatever. She had worked with inmates on death row. And she told me, she said that they just don't have that. They don't have the switch in your head. They're just murderers and
No, not at
serial
all.
killers. There's no switch in their head that tells them what they're doing is wrong. They could stab you with an ice pick in your eyeball and then turn around and eat their sandwich.
I honestly believe it's a lack of a soul.
It could be. It absolutely could be. I mean, there's something obviously not. There's synapses not fired. There's something going on in their head that just not.
Because you could see it in their eyes.
Yeah,
It's like you can
dead
see
eyes.
straight through them. There's nothing there.
Let me tell you, sometimes having a conscience sucks. Keeps you from doing a lot of things you'd really like to do.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine. Doc and I would have those conversations all the time. I was like, damn it. I could be so much further ahead in this thing if I just didn't have a conscience, if I just didn't care.
Doc was deep sometimes.
Yeah, he was. Rare occasions. Usually when he was drinking. And to prove that beautiful things are, in fact,
Scary.
scary. If you see something beautiful, run. And if it's a woman, run twice as fast. NASA has released new pictures of a stunning aurora. And along with that aurora, I mean, isn't that pretty? That is beautiful. It's a green. It's almost like a green cursive J written in the sky. Beautiful. There's
Like a musical note.
Oh, it's just. I mean, it's stunning. I've never seen the aurora borealis or any of those lights.
I have not either.
Northern lights. I would love to.
It is. They call this Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah, this is the. I guess when this shows up, astronomers said the northern lights visible are the visible signs of a phenomenon that could bring civilizations to its knees. Auroras are caused when charged particles from the sun slam into the Earth's atmosphere. Normally, these solar storms, nothing to worry about, but it's feared that a super strong sun squall could cause chaos around the world by bringing down communication networks which power our societies. Admire the beauty, but fear the beast. The beauty is the aurora overhead here, taking the form of a great green spiral seen between picturesque clouds with the bright moon to the side and stars in the background. The beast is the wave of charged particles that creates the aurora, but what might one day impair civilization. We're not talking about women, right? We're still talking about aurora. It's just. You ever known any woman named Aurora?
No.
It's a good woman's name. Most famous solar storm
If
recorded.
I did, I'd probably be throwing ones in her G-string. Just saying.
That's Bambi.
Whatever.
That's Tiffany. Oh,
Please welcome to the stage, Aurora Borealis.
Ever tell you about the time I got kicked at a strip club?
You got kicked at a strip club?
Yeah. I think I did tell that story once. I was
Did you
actually,
mouth off?
No, I was
what?
complimenting her.
Oh, right.
I was. It was when I was in my ute. I was sitting there at the front.
In your yurt or your
Not in my yurt. That's a completely different story. I was back in my younger days, in my early mid-20s, and yeah, I was sitting there, and I don't obviously remember what her name was, but I said something it was a compliment. And she either misunderstood me, it was too loud, whatever. Either she didn't want to be complimented or she misunderstood me. But wow, that heel hurt. And yeah, it was not pleasant. She just struck out. But she's faster than she looked. Yeah, I don't think I've been to one since. The good old days. Yes, the good old youth is entirely wasted on the young, might I just say. Gut bacteria. I don't know why that made me think of gut bacteria, but it certainly did. Every day, more and more news comes in about how gut bacteria affect your health. Now at MIT, they are analyzing a gut bacteria that actually moves into your large intestine They describe how the common gut microbe adapts and evolves within individuals as well as across Western versus Eastern culture. I'm telling you, the gut is the bacteria and the flora and fauna in your gut it's going to be key to a lot of things. I mean, yesterday we talked about autism. The bottom line is go to lovemytummy.com. If you are experiencing bloating, if you're experiencing abdominal discomfort, or in the words of Jeremy Hansen, explosive bouts of diarrhea. I will never forget he said that day. I don't know why. I just stuck in my head, and it's there for all time. Go to lovemytummy.com and learn more about Autron Shield and how it can help you and your gut, because abdominal discomfort is nothing to sneeze at, or to laugh at for that matter. Lovemytummy.com. Daily Mojo continues.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill on a Wednesday. Well, I guess it's time for an update from our friends at CNN.
This is fake news.
Many in the mainstream media, and specifically CNN, have their drawers in a bunch over the president's decision not to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but instead to hold a rally with his supporters. And yesterday, the president announced that the staff was not allowed to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And frankly, why should they? If you are loyal to the president, if you work for the president, you should avoid that like the plague. But this order by the president was considered to be an attack on the free press by Brian Stelter. Yeah, the guy whose show is called Reliable Sources. Ironic much? Brian, here's what he said yesterday.
Look, it's yet another example of what we're seeing, this administration's attack against the media. It takes many forms.
Attack? I don't think you understand the meaning of the word attack. Let me get this right. CNN goes after the president, constantly mocks him, puts together panels that want the president thrown out of office, and then when he won't come to your fancy dinner where you're going to mock him some more, you call it an attack. No, that's called being polite. He could have said he was coming and then stiffed you. But no, he at least had the decency to say no thank you, something you guys don't have. Testudo, my friends, testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood. Gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Watch it, Real Ron Phillips. My oldest niece is named Aurora. And before you ask, Real Brad Staggs, yes, if I wasn't her uncle, I'd think she was hot.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Zippy, the Jackhole Monkey. Yeah, it gets a little like right there. It is a beautiful name. I just, it's...
Oh, we have a guest at the bottom of the hour, but he called and then hung up.
Did he?
So, yeah.
So Dan didn't want to talk to him?
We will get him back on the line here.
He heard the story about strippers and just thought that he didn't want to hang out with us. Let's see here. Free-range prisoners. Free-range prisoner. Real Brad Staggs. Nice shoes. They'd look better in the air is not a compliment or dance advice, even in a strip club. That is free-range prisoner. That's not what I said. I don't remember exactly what I said. I do remember, however, it was a compliment. You know, if you just didn't frequent those houses of ill repute, you wouldn't have these problems. And I also wouldn't have any good stories to tell, would I? Remember, well-behaved men rarely make history.
I'm hearing an inordinate amount of train whistles this morning.
I know. I was noticing the same thing, and I don't know what that... maybe we just have an inordinate amount of trains coming by the studio. Mojo Jedi, I thought the beast appears every 28 days. I see what you did there.
Oh.
Hey-oh. Hold on a second. Well, I hope Dan's okay.
I do too.
In case I didn't hear, perhaps ampersand was Henry and Richard's first secretary. I have no idea what that means. Perhaps. Oh, I see what it was. I gotcha. Yeah, that there is a thinking man's tweet, isn't it? That is a thinking man's tweet. Speaking of tweets, yesterday I retweeted something from Alex Dimitrov. I have no idea who he is.
Dimitrov.
Him.
Alex.
Who is that?
No idea.
Is that somebody I should know? Anyway, I don't.
You retweeted him, but you don't
retweeted it because here's the tweet. I hope Britney Spears finds peace and we impeach the president. And I quoted the tweet and said, 2 things no one would ever bet on being in the same tweet. How did we get to a place in society where those two things
Brad,
have
don't you know
intersected?
Britney Spears is struggling again with her mental health? It was the drugs. I mean, not drugs, but the medication she was on was causing her to lose her mind again.
I do actually. You know what? I do feel bad for Britney Spears. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for Heather Locklear. Britney Spears, she's another one of those people who grew up in the public eye. And Disney kid, too. And Disney will eat you up, chew on you, and spit you back out once they're done with you. As a lot of the entertainment industry will do. It's her fault for being involved. Well, they get, you get Hollywood parents who get their kids involved in the entertainment industry at an early age. And yeah, I mean, Britney Spears, obviously talented woman. She's 37 years old now.
Oh,
Britney Spears is pushing 40. Yeah. Britney Spears is like 37.
Well, I guess I can see that. I saw her first in 97. So that was 22 years ago.
Yeah, she's wow. I feel bad for her. She has been chewed up and spat back out by the Disney machine. She did put out a little video yesterday. She said that what'd she say here?
Hi guys, just checking in with all of you who are concerned about me. All is well. My family has been going through a lot of stress and anxiety lately, so I just needed time to deal. But don't worry, I'll be back very soon.
Okay, is it just me, or A, did she sounds like Michael Jackson now, and B, she looks, whoa.
Well, number one, 37 isn't doing her super well.
But
she's
she
still
just
a pretty
doesn't.
woman. But here's the thing.
Woo!
Here's the thing. She sounded like she was about to lose it right there.
Maybe.
She's probably on the verge of that all the time anyhow. But,
I guess her dad is, didn't he, isn't he in, did he have a breakdown? I don't know. He's
at
in
some
rehab
point,
or something.
But she had another run in Vegas set up.
Yeah.
And then canceled the whole thing.
Yeah. So again, yeah. What do you care about Britney Spears? I don't know. You know what? You're supposed to care about your fellow human beings. I mean, just the fact that she used to be pretty hot. Now, not so much. There's a baby T-Rex on sale on eBay.
What?
It could be yours for just $2.95 million. Now, the scientific community is crying foul because they say that you shouldn't be buying a T-Rex. It should be in a museum somewhere. The listing reads, most likely the only baby T-Rex in the world, has 15-foot long body, 21-inch skull, serrated teeth. This Rex was a very dangerous meat eater and a rare opportunity indeed to ever see a baby T-Rex. The skeleton is estimated to be 68 million years old. It was discovered in 2013 on private land in Montana. It became the property of the man who discovered it, Alan Dietrich. He's a professional fossil hunter. He lent the fossil in 2017 to the University of Kansas, where it was still on display when Dietrich made the surprise decision to put it up for auction. Why wouldn't you? If it's his, why can't he sell it? It's his.
I'm just trying to think, why would all the scientists be in an uproar? Because it's a fossilized, T-Rex?
Because science, bitches. That's why. Because I think they
dude needed money.
Yeah, but it's
I got a T-Rex.
There are many like it. This one is mine, and I'm selling it on eBay. So bite me.
There are many like it. This one is mine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fault the guy. I do not fault the guy at all for wanting to sell his baby T. And if you've got $2.95 million, it can be yours, and you can do with it.
Somebody's going to buy it from him.
Yeah, and maybe they'll put it in a museum.
And put it on display and put it in a museum.
Maybe they won't. It's all up to them because finders keepers, you know where they could store it? You know, if it's still, okay, let's imagine that the fossil still had meat on it and you had to store it somewhere. Where would you store it? I mean, where would you find something large enough to store part of a T-Rex in?
If it still had meat on it?
Right. I mean, because you're not going to have to store the bones cooled.
So people are guessing right now.
Yeah.
If it has serrated teeth,
right,
you might need one thing. But if it has meat on it,
right,
you need something different.
Yes. You need to stick it in a cat cooler. That's where you need to stick it. Put your meat in a cat cooler. Hold on. By the way, did I tell you when the front door wouldn't unlock today, I thought, you know what, I'm going home and going back to bed.
Oh, dude.
It crossed my mind.
We haven't told this story yet.
Yeah, the front door.
So Brad gets here an hour before me every morning. He calls me.
Usually I put my key fob up to the front door lock and he goes bloop and the front door
right open.
Ka-chunk, and I walk in and today it went boom.
Yeah.
And
no happening this morning. And your key fob didn't work on the side door.
No. They
but
don't
mine
trust
did.
me. They don't trust me to have access to the
Well, it was
side
supposed
door.
to, but mine did. But I took an hour to get here. And then on the way here, there were so many wrecks. I had to go way out of the way. I'm thinking to myself, well, the good Lord doesn't want this show to happen this morning.
No kidding. Maybe there's a good reason for that. I don't know. But if you go to Cat Coolers, you'll find the cooler so rugged that you can throw your meat in it. You can throw the meat of a T-Rex in it. You can throw almost the entire baby. I challenge you to put your T-Rex meat in a cat cooler. I challenge you to do just that. I mean, these things are big. An 88 quart cooler. That's a huge cooler.
Yeah, that's one of those you see on the back of somebody's vehicle sitting on the you know how you've got that little tray you can put in your trailer hitch?
Yeah.
The receiver?
Uh-huh.
That's one of those big jokers.
Whew. Boy, it holds up to 96 cans and 2 bags of ice. That is huge. It's made right here in the good old US of A, in Texas, as a matter of fact, which is twice as good. That's being made in Texas is twice as good as being made in the USA. It's like being made in the USA twice, and it's a veteran-owned company. If you go to catcoolers.com, because, I mean, you probably need a new cooler this season if you're taking the boat out. If you're going to go out on the boat and you're going to have good times on the lake or the wherever you take your boat this summer, you need the new cooler. And at catcoolers.com, if you use promo code Brandon, you will get 10% off the cat cooler of your choice. Go to catcoolers.com, promo code Brandon for 10% off. Did I say $10? 10% off.
10% off.
10% off your cat cooler. Kohl's. This is a weird one. Kohl's is now going all in on Amazon. You can bring your Amazon returns to a Kohl's store. I told you I had to return something to Amazon. It was a roll of bubble wrap because of course I have my eBay empire. Speaking of which, my auctions generally end on Friday evenings and Saturday evenings. If you use BRADSTAGGS, if you are into collecting old magic, I'm just suggesting. I don't want to shamelessly self-promote, but I will. But on eBay, that's where you'll find it. So I bought bubble wrap on Amazon, and when I got the bubble wrap, all the bubbles were popped. Or I guess it was so tightly wound, and there was some, I don't know, it adhered to each. So as you unwound the bubble wrap, that went, so it was just plastic. So I had to return it, and I had to return it to a Whole Foods because Amazon now owns Whole Foods. I guess they have for a while, but I had to drive to BF Egypt to do it. So
we have one of those Amazon lockers near us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can find those everywhere.
I think it's called.
But you can't do returns there. You can only pick stuff up. So if you have something,
that's the only time I've ever used it was dropping returns off
at the locker.
At the locker,
there was somebody there.
No. I mean, you do all your return stuff online,
right?
And then you tell it you're going to drop it off either at UPS or the locker. You can choose the locker.
It didn't give me that option. It said I had to take it to the
Whole Foods. Well, it depends on if the locker's near you.
Oh, well, I have lockers near me, but
or if they're full.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. But now you'll be able to do it in Kohl's.
Kohl's department stores.
They are bringing it into a small number of the stores 2 years ago. Now they're going to bring it into every store. Yesterday, it announced it will accept Amazon customers' order returns for free, even without their shipping box. at all of the more than 1,150 stores beginning in July. I'm telling you, we're all going to end up working for Amazon. Amazon is Skynet. I told you my theory that Amazon is going to buy the U.S. Postal Service. They're going to work a deal out.
They're going to bail them out.
It's going to be some form. I guarantee you they've had meetings about this. You notice they drive Mercedes vans, Amazon does, when they drop stuff off at your house?
Yeah.
I really believe that they are going to do a buyout of the United States Postal Service, and one day we will.
Well, they're close enough already. I mean, a lot of my postal carriers are delivering Amazon packages now on the weekends, actually.
Really? Like as a side job?
I guess.
Really?
They're using their postal service trucks to deliver them.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I think we'll all end up working for Skynet Amazon very soon. You see, that's why Jeff Bezos got divorced. His wife caught wind of his intentions to take over the world. She's trying to warn the rest of us, and we're not listening. The Amazon Echo will now, I guess it's done this for a while, it will tell you what to wear in the morning. Remember that scene in Clueless where she goes to her computer and starts, has her computer choose her outfit?
Yes. No.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Alicia Silverstone, she's still cute. That scene where her computer just starts, it's like Garanimals. It starts matching her outfits. The Amazon Echo will do that, sort of. The Amazon Echo will you can digitize basically your wardrobe, and it will choose your clothes for you for the week.
Well, that presumes it has a camera on the front of it.
Well, I think the Echo, it's the Echo Look. The
Echo Look.
The Echo Look. It's $99.99 at Amazon. See,
weren't we just talking about Jeff Bezos taking over the world? Now the dude's going to try to tell you what to wear.
It works mostly like a standard Echo. You can still ask it to tell you about the weather or to set alarms. You can't call or message anyone with Alexa on an Echo Look, and it doesn't have Bluetooth. But the Look makes up for it with its unique features of voice activated. It has a voice controlled camera, which can take photos and 6-second videos, built-in lighting, and a depth sensor that you can use to blur the background of the photos you take. It allows you to get a live view of your entire outfit and decide. It will decide what you want.
I can hardly wait to get one.
I wouldn't. I've got I'm paring down everything.
Yeah. Here's what mine's going to tell me every morning: Spoonie shirt, MoJo shirt, or Odyssey shirt. Take your pick, sir.
I think you're right. I'm just trying to get rid of everything because I'm sick of having stuff. I just want to be. Wasn't it Albert Einstein? Somebody like that. One of them only had like 5 shirts. They were all white shirts. They had 5 black jackets.
Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg do the same thing.
That's where I want to be. I
don't want to have to think about what I get up and wear in the morning. A pair of jeans and one of my 3 logoed shirts. That's it.
Yeah. I don't want to waste any more, and I barely wear pants as it is. And with that, we welcome Dan Andros to the program. Hey, Dan, how are
Howdy.
you?
I'm good. I'm just getting off my Easter worship, and
I see what you did there, Dan.
Yes, exactly.
I do. Yeah,
Dan,
I'm one of those Easter worshipers. So.
There you go. Dan Andros from Faithwire, and it's been a crazy few days. It's no longer cool. I'm not sure if it was ever cool to be a Christian, but it's certainly no longer cool to be a Christian, is it? It's
no, and it's certainly. I mean, actually, there's a Muslim guy on Twitter, and I forget his name, but he was like, "Hey, I have to," and I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, but it's like we actually have to acknowledge that Christians are the most persecuted group globally. We kind of joke about that here in America because. Persecution here is when, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, complains about, the 10 Commandments being in a school or something like that.
Right.
And those are worth fighting, those sorts of ridiculous complaints from the FFRF. But globally, we're seeing Christians, in Nigeria, for example, are being targeted and murdered, and now, of course, the horrific, bombings in Sri Lanka, and so it's horrific. So the reaction from the left, and I'm torn on this one, Brad. The Easter worshiper thing for anybody. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been covering it, but for anybody who didn't see it, Hillary, Obama both used the term Easter worshiper in their tweets of condolences instead of the term Christian. Right. And so I'm torn on it because I don't want to be a snowflake. I don't want to be melting over them being ridiculous. But on the other hand, though, it's intentional. Like this is just their MO. I mean, Obama needled Christians for 8 years in many different ways, and so this is just an extension of that. They don't, the far left, the progressive left, they don't view Christians are like a privileged class to them. They view everything on like an oppression scale.
Right.
So, white Christians, and obviously these are, not white Christians. They're in a different region of the world, but they view Christians as not an oppressed class. So to them, it's just not, after New Zealand, everyone's, hey, we'll stand with the Muslims, we'll stand with the Muslim communities, which is an appropriate response. But it's not the same when something happens to Christians. So that's irritating. But on the other hand, I don't want to be a snowflake,
Well, and here's the thing: it's like the only way to not be offended about it is to not be offended about it, because we preach that a lot here, and it's true. But I don't think that there is it's not a problem to point it out. I mean, when you point it's a fact. When you point out the fact, and then. You're right. It can come off sounding a little bit snowflakey, but the fact is they have a problem calling Christians Christians. They have a problem referring to them, and by merely pointing that out, I don't think that's being snowflake-like. I think that's merely pointing out that fact.
No, I agree, and maybe it's an unfair characterization to say. I think what happens is when Twitter sort of latches onto something and it gets rolling and it gets building. That becomes no individual per se as being a snowflake, right? Like they're just saying, oh, that's ridiculous. But when you see that thousands of times over and over and over again, then people get this sense that everyone's freaking out and they're going crazy. And it's like most people's reaction was just like an eye roll, like, oh, geez, here we go again. They can't bear to say the word Christian.
Twitter does magnify that sort of thing. Twitter is it's a combination between a cesspool and a petri dish of really bad bacteria.
Yeah.
And it's like I pointed out earlier, I retweeted this tweet yesterday that it was a very strange tweet from Alex Dimitrov or whoever he is. He says, I hope Britney Spears finds peace and we impeach the president, which is two total non sequiturs. But that's, I mean, that is Twitter. It's this weird chemical experiment that is, I mean, you really don't want to touch it without gloves on.
No, you're 100% right. And I think that everyone should have a litmus test on their scale of internal outrage when, everyone should stop and go, wait a minute. Okay, this is annoying me, but is it just because I'm scrolling Twitter? Like, if I turn off Twitter for 20 minutes, am I going to realize, like, oh, yeah, like, not everybody's really just walking around pissed off.
Right.
They're just, they're just tweeting. But Twitter does have that effect. And I kind of found it hilarious that Jack Dorsey from Twitter was meeting with the president yesterday. I think it's good that he did that, but at the same time, it's just these big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, I contend that they're run by progressives. And so you see a progressive mentality approach happening into it. So and it's funny to watch you actually see the flaws of progressivism in how they try to run their systems, particularly in Facebook. Twitter's a little more, apologies here, I've got allergies, so I'm having a hard time breathing.
Breathing is important.
But yes, I know. So I'll pause so that I don't die.
Mm-hmm.
But Twitter is a little more just you see kind of what people are tweeting. They've started the little whole, hey, here's what you missed 2 hours ago or whatever.
Right.
But Facebook, if you look at the things Mark Zuckerberg says, he says, I want to create a safe experience. I want to create, this user experience that you have that's just perfect and no one gets harmed and it's happy and it's fun. And it's like, well, how about just letting me see the things I clicked that I wanted to follow? Like I wanted to follow MoJo 50. I wanted to follow FaithWire. I click them because I want to see the things that you don't have to protect me from myself. Like that's the progressive mentality, is that you are too dumb to make your own decisions.
Right.
And you are inevitably going to screw it up. And therefore we need to program your life for you. We need to have, as Cass Sunstein, the famous choice architect under Obama, they want to manufacture choices for you. And that's essentially what Facebook is it's the folly of progressivism in full view for everyone to see. It's like they're trying to create this experience, and they've literally screwed everything up. Everyone's starting to hate it because, it just filters out things, and, it's just a total mess.
Well, I think
and
they believe they start to believe that their own PR. I think they start to believe when they have these platforms that have so many users that they have a moral responsibility to guide the user experience to what they believe is the right and moral thing, which is they truly believe that conservatives are full of hate. They truly believe that, so they believe that by muting a lot of the conservative and libertarian viewpoints, that they are doing the right thing in the world. So they don't think they're doing anything wrong. How do you combat that other than you just say, look, I'm not going to use your product?
Right, and that's tough because so many people are on that. I mean, like it's nice to say that, and it's nice to do that gesture, and if you can get off of there, that's great. But there's hundreds of millions of people using the thing, so it's like that's just not going to go away overnight.
No,
I mean, it did it for MySpace, but I think now Facebook is just so ingrained.
Yeah, it is. It's become a communications tool. That and Twitter and the Instagram and Snapchat is making something of a comeback. They just released an Android app. So you've and Pinterest for what it's worth, literally because they just had their IPO. And you've got all of these communication devices they've become an addiction for the American people and for people around the world.
Well, and everybody says, well, let's just start a new one. But the problem with that is Google and Facebook and, that Facebook owns Instagram, Google and YouTube. It's like they all own each other and, the major ones. And so they've gobbled up a lot of these other smaller things. And so they can shut you down. Like they don't want you to succeed. It's very, very difficult to actually get something off the ground. They've got it. They essentially have a monopoly. It's kind of ironic. These progressives that are all against monopolies basically have a monopoly on your information. Now I want to point something out, Brad, to everyone who's listening, and that's why it's so important for conservatives who are annoyed at the media to go to MoJo 50. Go directly there. Put a bookmark on your browser, so that you don't forget, and go there every day. Like, don't wait for Facebook or Google to serve you something. Go to put FaithWire on your bookmark if you like the content we do, and visit it every day. That's how you and read 5 articles. Like that's if you want conservative media to grow and to have more of a presence, you have to be intentional about going directly to them and doing it on a regular basis, because otherwise you're relying on Facebook, you're relying on Google to decide what you see for news.
And we have about a minute left, but I did want to point out the fact on FaithWire there is a great story. Trey wrote it about Mayor Pete and the fact that he likes to wear the Christian moniker until it comes to abortion. And when he starts talking abortion, the faith thing kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, he abandoned the faith thing, and then he said he didn't want to take the bait. And when they were talking about Pence as well, and it's kind of ironic that he's willing to try to play the faith card when it benefits him.
Right.
But the moment it doesn't, he flees from it and then retreats into progressive leftist secular tropes.
Amazing how that happens. Amazing how that happens. So yeah, go to faithwire.com and check that story out, and all of the rest of the faith-based stories there as well. Dan, it's always a pleasure. I hope that your breathing continues in and out.
Thanks. Me too.
The alternative is not good, and we'll talk again soon, my friend.
All right, thanks, Brad. Take care.
You too. Yeah, it's sometimes Christianity is worn as a convenient coat and then discarded.
Well, a lot of people use it.
Yes. Yeah. That's so true.
And don't live it.
Yeah. And if you go to FaithWire, you'll see the story about Mayor Pete and all that. Speaking of guns, the Remington 870 was came in as the, and this is on a website called Pew Pew Tactical.
Called Pew Pew?
Pew Pew Tactical.
Nice.
Pew Pew. The second most fun pump shotgun to shoot, the Remington 870. And the Mossberg 500 was another one of the top 5. So what I did was I took that information, went over to Tar River Arms, traguns.com, and looked up the Mossberg 500. That's a cool looking gun. And apparently fun. I've never shot one of these. I had a Mossberg, I think it was a Home Defender. It was a 410. And that thing was bad to the bone.
That thing got a pistol grip on it.
Yes, it does. And that
wow.
It's a lot like the this one doesn't have the 360 view on it, but it's the same way with the 410. This Mossberg Home Defender that I had. This thing, and again, if you need a gun for home defense, you'll probably never have to shoot it. The beauty of a shotgun, obviously, is that you're not going to, go through a wall most of the times and hit somebody in the next room if you got somebody coming into your house. But just racking that shotgun, just that's all you really need to do in most cases. And most criminals, if they're in your house, will not be in your house.
It's got a distinctive sound.
Oh, it certainly does. You hear that, it'll make you wet your pants. It's just go to traguns.com. Take a look at the Mossberg 500. traguns.com. Because guns be fun and stuff. This is your Daily Mojo, and it continues here in mere moments.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. They just keep coming. President Trump writing on Twitter, a very big caravan of over 20,000 people started up through Mexico. Mr. Trump says Mexican authorities have managed to reduce the numbers a bit, but he adds Mexico must apprehend the remainder or will be forced to close that section of the border and call up the military. The Treasury Department ignoring another deadline for providing Trump tax returns.
For the second time, the administration has defied a demand from the House Ways and Means Committee to turn over 6 years of President Trump's tax returns. In a letter to the committee, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin asked for more time and said he would give the panel a final decision by May 6th. But the White House has been sending a strong signal that it intends to reject the request. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The death toll from the suicide bombings in Sri Lanka has risen to 359. Meanwhile, the BBC's Azan Amin says authorities report the arrest of 18 more suspects overnight.
They have confirmed that local Muslim extremist group, National Tawhid Jamaat, is the one who they're suspecting. So far they have arrested around 60 people. 32 of them have been currently in CID interrogating them, trying to find more leads.
A car slammed into a group of pedestrians last evening in the Silicon Valley city of Sunnyvale, California.
Looks like it might have been an intentional act. All of that is under investigation at this time. The driver is in custody.
Police Captain Jim Choi telling KGO-TV that 8 people were injured. Strong earnings reports giving Wall Street a boost, with the NASDAQ and the S&P hitting record highs the other day. On the street this morning, stock futures are mixed ahead of the opening bell. Right now, Dow futures are up 22 points, S&P futures down 1, and NASDAQ futures currently trading 2 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
Lorenzo Vizzo. United 7. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Ridge's Own client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Ridge's Own, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Ridge's Own contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to ridgezone.com, RIDUZONE.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Ridgezone, RIDUZONE.com.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. The mothership has landed.
I think congratulations are in order.
Yeah?
Pennsylvania has a new official amphibian.
An official wow!
Governor Tom Wolf signed the legislation on Tuesday. That would be yesterday, granting the honor to, it's known as the Eastern Hellbender. It's a nocturnal animal whose colorful nicknames include Lasagna Lizard, Mud Devil, and my personal favorite, and I think when you see him, you'll understand why. He is known as, and Ron, we take this full screen, this, my friends, is known as the snot otter.
That is the nastiest looking thing.
That is so gross.
The snot otter is now the official amphibian of Pennsylvania. I think that's...
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. If you
Pennsylvania.
if you're not looking at I just encourage you at some point today to just take a look at the snot otter, because he is a face that really, truly, only a mother could love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even the mother, I think, would have.
The mother, I feel like, might even abandon it.
Yeah, the mother would go, God dang, you're ugly.
Yeah, that's
because it's an amphibian, right?
Yes.
Basically, they just leave the eggs and walk away.
Yeah, they just. I mean, the snot otter. I'm not quite sure how to transition, so I just will transition to this one.
It's still cuter than its cousin, the mucus duck.
No kidding.
I wouldn't.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, a 24-year-old man has come forward to claim the third largest jackpot in lottery history.
Yeah.
Manuel Franco has been buying Powerball tickets since he was 18. He's 24 now. He took home the third largest, $768.4 million Powerball jackpot.
Lord, how old is the kid now? If he was
24. He's 24 years old. This is he bought the ticket March 27th, which was my birthday, which technically I think means he should split it with me.
Yeah.
He says, I walked into the Speedway. I purchased $10 worth of individual Powerball tickets. I honestly felt so lucky that I did look up at the camera and I wanted to wink at it because I just had that lucky feeling. F you, pal. The lucky winner chose to receive, he got a lump sum. Now, he didn't get, this should make you feel better because he did not get $768.4 million.
You never do on the lump sum.
No, you don't. And he's going to have to make do. And I think this is tough. And I think that, if he needs help, we should all chip in to help him survive on the lump sum of $477 million.
As I've consistently heard, mo money, mo problems. And if he needs, we will take that money off of his hands. We will make his life easier. because we're selfless like that.
Would you become his live-in partner?
I would definitely become his
I will carry that load proudly for him.
Wow. Hold on. Where is the...
what Ron said.
Wow. I think that may have been going a bit too far, but okay. If you... Some things, everybody has a price. Now we know Ron's.
$477 million.
Uh-huh. He went into work the next day, but
I'll do damn near anything.
He was sweating. He was sweating.
So we're gonna stop doing. No. We're gonna keep Will Ron eat it going.
Yes,
but we're gonna add Will Ron do it.
Right.
And by do it, you know what I mean.
Would you eat some snot otter?
For $477 million, I'll eat the whole damn thing one bite at a time.
Now that it's the official amphibian, can you eat the snot otter?
Probably not.
Probably
which
not.
is good
Yeah.
for me.
Protected?
Yeah. Does
Okay.
Texas have an official? You carry on with the show. I'm gonna do some research.
He said he went into work the next day. He was sweating profusely and barely able to hide the good news from his coworkers. He soon quit his job. At the news conference, he did not say where he worked. He said he doesn't know yet what the next chapter in his life holds, but he wants to take his time.
I know it contains a jet ski.
No, and some hot babes.
Yeah.
He does, or hot guys,
whatever
whichever
floats
side of
his
the
boat.
plate. He's set up a legal and financial team to help him. I want to take a break, let it sink in. I do want to help out the world, but I want to make sure my future is secure.
Oh, that was the smartest line in the whole thing.
Seriously.
No kidding.
I set
done,
up
dude.
legal and financial team.
Well done.
Wisconsin does not allow lottery winners to remain anonymous. The speedway that sold the ticket will receive $100,000.
Wait, they don't allow. Why?
They do not. It's like Florida. You can't remain anonymous in Florida either.
Do you have a certain amount of time to collect it, though? I mean,
yes, maybe
before they have to announce it?
Must be a month because what's today, the 24th?
Why do you think that is? Because I just feel like that's dangerous.
Well, I can see why, because it also prevents corruption. It prevents somebody inside the Powerball organization from
winning the money or taking the money.
Taking the money. So
Oh,
it has
okay.
to be disclosed. I understand it, but
I guess I understand that a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure there might be better ways because I just feel like you're just opening this dude up for.
You know, we all understand it until we're the winner of that lottery.
Right.
And then we're
maybe.
like, why you got to get my name out?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to have relatives and friends that I didn't even know about.
you
But
just
not
have
even
to make
just
sure you get
that.
all your ducks in a row.
Not even just that. All the people that are going to be like, hey, can I borrow like $10,000 for XYZ? No. It's going to be the people who know that you're new money. You don't know anything about being this rich. And they're going to come and try to take advantage of you. I mean, the kid getting legal teams the moment he got the money was probably the smartest move he ever made.
Absolutely.
But I mean, yeah, it's not going to stop like swindlers and stuff from trying to come at him with all these offers and ideas and stuff like that to try to steal. And I would be 100%. I would lock my doors and turn my phone off. You know, like I would not talk to anybody for ages, except for my legal team.
You'd quit so fast.
Oh, no, I would not.
You wouldn't quit.
I wouldn't quit this show. No, actually, I would not quit. I would just.
You would. He would not show up. He would. One day he would just not show up. We'd try to call him and be doo. This number has been disconnected.
No, because I would be sitting at home screaming at nothing about things that I hate. it would drive me crazy. This show is a blessing for me. It's both an outlet and a job. So it's
It's 3 hours of therapy.
Yeah, essentially it is.
2 hours for you. No, that's what you have to do. What this guy did is just quietly quit your job.
Yep.
Just quietly ease back. It's like Homer Simpson easing back into the bushes. That's it. You just have to kind of ease on back. I mean, there's not that many people that would. That's the beauty of it. Ron would miss me in the morning. I wouldn't be missed for a long time. The Brad. Who? He hasn't been around in a month? What? So I would have an easy time of doing it because no one would know I'd really kind of just drifted back into the bushes, so to speak. But then that's when you get everything arranged, and then you drop the big bomb, and your name's already been changed to Jesus Gonzalez.
It's a good name.
See?
Jesus Gonzalez.
Jesus Gonzalez. That's...
Is this Brandon Morse?
No,
it is Jesus Gonzalez.
No, senor.
We do not. I do not speak in English.
Me llamo Jesus Gonzalez. Is that cultural appropriation?
Chicle. Bye.
So I was... Hola. ¿Cómo estás? No está en casa.
Somebody's going to, Media Matters is going to go over this and isolate this one audio.
Good. Good for them. So they are now saying that being fat can lead to brain shrinkage. So when I saw this story last night, the first person I sent it to, you know who it was?
Who?
Jeffy.
Yes.
Poor Jeffy.
Obesity is tied. Actually, he's lost some weight. Obesity is tied to a slew of harmful effects in the body. Now, a new study suggests it may also affect brain structure.
Mm-hmm.
Higher levels of body fat were tied to lower brain volumes in certain areas.
You know what's funny? Morbidly obese people. Have you ever really truly met someone who is morbidly obese and happy? Like they have a good attitude toward life, or
Yes.
they just
Yeah.
you
I
have?
have. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're not old enough. See?
Maybe that's
No,
my
I mean, I
problem.
have. Don't get me wrong. They have issues. You know, everybody who's
Everybody's got
morbidly obese
issues.
has issues.
Who doesn't have issues?
But I noticed that they have like either depression or they're like just angry people. Like let me talk to your manager kind of person.
Why do you hate fat people so much?
I don't hate fat people at all, but I have noticed that there is a definite attitude change from like a person who is thin and up and running around versus someone who is morbidly obese.
If you don't want the Brandon Morse to hate you, lose some weight by going to Riduzone. I mean, if you
Brandon, was that a planned segue? Did you plan that?
Maybe.
If you needed,
yes,
if you needed another reason to lose weight, I mean, if you want Brandon to love you, Riduzone is the place to go to find the OEA molecule that helps fight food cravings and helps speed up your metabolism. And right now, there's a special 30% off coupon. Every time I say that word, how do you say the word COUPON?
Coupon?
Yes, Ron. How do you say it?
Coupon.
Because there is no Q in coupon.
Coupon.
I can't stand it when
Are they saying like
Ron White
coupon?
says it. Coupon.
Coupon?
There is no. It's not coupon. It's coupon.
That's right. Coupon.
That sounds like a really lazy or like maybe a
Well, if you
northern
take the
way of
word
saying that
coup,
you're doing okay.
C-O-U-P. It's pronounced coup.
Why isn't it spelled
like,
C-O-O-P?
Hey, Greg, how you doing? I'm coupon.
I'm coupon. Is he Canadian?
Eh?
Coupon should be C-O-O-P-O-N. Coupon.
Coupon. Yeah.
That's too French saying coupon. Anyway, you'll get the 30% off coupon automatically applied to a 3-bottle promotion if you go to riduzone.com. If you are ready to lose weight, if you're ready to take off the excess poundage, if you're ready to look hot in a bikini this summer.
I totally am.
You know what? You look hot already in a bikini.
Thanks, babe.
Riduzone.com.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
No. It's the Brandon Morse.
That was tacky.
That was bad.
I just saw it there and I thought
bad.
I know. I couldn't help it.
5 headlines I have for you. One of them is not true. Brad must guess which one it is. Ron is usually the one to win. Piz. I don't know.
Did you just make that up?
I just made it up.
Stop it.
By the way, I want to make sure everyone understands something because Ray Robinson says, I've got a beer belly, Brandon. What the hell, man? Hey, I have never met a unjolly person with a beer belly. Beer bellies are awesome. I'm working on one right now. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right.
It's called a tool shed.
That's right, buddy. All right. You keep that beer belly going, buddy. Oh, man. 5 headlines. Don't cheat. One of these is not true. You got to figure out which one. That's the game.
Yes, it is.
And you're going to love it today. Pete Buttigieg.
Uh-huh.
I still don't know how to pronounce his name because I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce his
I've
name.
heard it Buttigieg. I've heard it Buttigieg. I've heard it Buttigieg. Buttigieg. I've heard every possible pronunciation of that
Butt
name.
Judge.
Butt Judge. Booty Judge.
In an effort to be liked, he has released a comprehensive list of fun personality quirks to include in articles about him. I knew he was a weird guy. So he's running for 2020 president against Trump, yada, 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 for the Democrats, as you know. And he decided to disclose his fondness for pepperoni pizza, jogging before sunrise, and episodes of The Wire. White House hopeful beat Pete Buttigieg released Tuesday a comprehensive list of fun personality quirks for reporters to include in articles about him. I want to be completely transparent with the American people about all of my most relatable idiosyncrasies, including how much I love Thursdays, the music of Fleetwood Mac, water skiing, and the sound of rain.
Aw.
Yeah.
I like the sound of rain.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Mayor Pete.
Me too.
I like Fleetwood Mac and the sound of rain.
I also like water skiing.
So I'm voting for him.
This is such a Hillary Clinton thing. I'm sorry.
And you know what? The scary part, that'll work.
It will work. Because remember
unless
how
this is the fake story.
Remember how people lost their minds when Hillary Clinton was like, I carry hot sauce in my purse. Oh, she's relatable.
Right.
You carry hot sauce with you everywhere you go?
I do.
Oh.
I don't think it's what you're thinking, though.
Up top, Brad.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Amazon is making its delivery drivers take selfies to reduce fraud. Why? The new function has recently appeared in Amazon's Flex app used by its delivery drivers. It's a bid to stop multiple people from sharing one person's account. It's a problem that other, quote, gig economy platform apps like Uber also must deal with, given the lack of face-to-face interaction with colleagues. Uber implemented a virtually identical policy for its drivers in 2016.
So wait, okay, so you take a selfie
with the package, I guess.
I see what you did there. So you take a selfie with the package that you're returning.
Mm-hmm.
So that
No. I think the drivers take the selfie with the package.
Okay.
And then
how does that?
I guess they're trying to make it because, like, I can understand the Uber drivers doing it, so that you see who they are, so that you can't get murdered by some rapist pretending to be an Uber driver. But I guess, like, you know, I don't know, opening the door to receive your Amazon package.
We'll just leave it there.
That was an entire South Park episode. Although a few friends sharing an account to earn some extra cash might not seem too worrying, the practice. Oh, no, it is. Okay.
Amazing what you learn when you read the whole thing. What is it now?
Okay, so it's a bid to stop multiple people from sharing one person's account. It's a problem that other gig economy platform. Oh, I see what they're doing now. Okay.
Hold on.
I thought it was.
Hold on. That calls for this.
Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
See, this article is weirdly written, I think. I think it's weirdly written.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about here when it comes to face-to-face interaction with colleagues, which makes me think that it's the Amazon drivers. And if Uber is implementing the same policy.
Right.
I don't know.
So that way when Uber picks up your Amazon package and delivers it to Lyft,
that's right.
They don't get it confused.
That's right.
Makes sense to me. I'm going with that one.
Yep. I think that's true.
Yep.
It's true. Denver airport rabbits have to eat something. Brad.
Don't they?
And cars in the economy lot are something.
Rabbits?
Rabbits. Every year, like clockwork, we hear about people whose cars are disabled by rabbits and other varmints near Denver International Airport. The media loves it. The airport probably hates it. And all you drivers are left to wonder what will become of your ride. We've got the best answers we could find, and a $27 option to avoid the furry scourge of the planes. There was, for example, the pilot who came home last year to a $428 repair bill for his Volkswagen. Its wiring torn to shreds.
Okay.
Because naturally they were hot wiring it.
I've had this happen to me, but it was chipmunks.
In 2013, rabbits were, quote, wrecking havoc at DIA. The Los Angeles Times said the airport lots were, quote, under siege.
So I didn't know rabbits would do it, but I knew
rabbits will steal your car, bro.
Chipmunks and squirrels will eat the crap out of your wiring. It cost me $500 once.
If there's one thing we've learned throughout history, it's that rodents in particular just don't have any respect for personal property.
No, they don't. They really don't. And they're stupid.
They are very stupid.
Except squirrels. They're kind of smart.
Yeah?
But rabbits just stupid.
I don't think squirrels are any smarter. I think they're just used to being around humans.
Have you ever seen the test they put squirrels through? They have the reward through this maze, and they have to swing across a wire, and it's amazing. Some of the stuff that they make.
Are they like crow smart? Because crows are freaking smart, dude.
I think squirrels are pretty smart. Rabbits stupid.
Rabbits are dumb.
Rabbits are stupid.
Yeah.
They taste like chicken too.
Oh, you've had rabbit?
Oh yeah. Rabbit bit me once, so we ate it.
Good job.
Thank you.
I like the vindictiveness.
Yes.
One independent lot USA parking reportedly spent $52,000 on an underground fence to keep hares away from its cars. along with purchase for birds of prey. Nice.
It's anti-Christian again, isn't it? It's anti-Christian. I knew it.
The airport discourages anything but anything that brings raptors near planes.
Okay. I wouldn't want a raptor near my plane.
I've seen Jurassic Park. I don't need that kind of headache.
Nope.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture removed up to 100 lucky foots per month. 100 lucky foots? Oh.
See, because a rabbit's foot is
Yeah,
lucky.
yeah.
Not for the rabbit necessarily.
Yeah.
But
if it
for
didn't
you.
work for the rabbit, why should it work for you?
That's always been my contention.
Yeah.
Plus, the things start to shed after a while, so you got a pocket full of hair.
Exactly.
And who needs that?
Oh, man.
Who needs a pocket full of hair?
Not I.
No.
Man makes computer from lasagna.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah. You're an idiot if you can't.
Right.
YouTuber La Planet Arts.
La Planet.
Oh, I didn't know you were French.
It is French.
La Planet Arts, also known as Michael Laplante. I don't know.
It's French, too.
That's also French. Built a computer entirely out of pasta. He did it after joking with his wife about the idea. Laplante used the inside parts of an old computer and created a case using lasagna, rigatoni, hot glue, electric tape, and paint.
I can see that being done.
Lasagna PC version 1 has direct computer functions in front. He said he has issues getting Windows going.
And party in the back.
But eventually got the system fired up and working. But is struggling to stay up. Especially when he tried to play video games.
Hold on.
There it is. In the end, the old computer adage applied. It was then boiled, mock-eaten, and pitched in the trash.
Sorry. I'll just put that anywhere.
Police searching for pair in connection to toothbrush theft of over $6,000. Yep. Guelph police are looking to speak to two people regarding a theft of $6,204.40.
It's those vibrating toothbrushes,
in
isn't it?
Toothbrushes.
It's got to be the vibrating ones. Have you ever used the vibrating toothbrush?
I have one.
I love those things.
Mm-hmm.
They're but they're expensive.
They're expensive, but man, are they worth it.
Boy, are they.
Mm-hmm.
You ever?
I love it. I love it.
I'll just leave it there.
The shoplifting incident occurred on March 25th at 10:30 p.m. The man and woman were seen leaving in a small black four-door vehicle. So this is kind of like a Fast and Furious heist.
Now we know.
The make or model was not identified, and the license plate numbers. Oh, they were obtained. Oh, they done goofed. They did everything right except for that one thing.
See?
Anything who recognizes the pair or has information about the incident is asked to contact police for this heinous crime.
Do they refer to the woman as a pair?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Okay. I just find
sexist. Those are your 5 headlines. Which one is fake?
I find that so disturbing.
But first,
yes,
Brad Staggs.
APR. I'm trying to. It's the Ron sexual chocolate that was created in the coffee machine this morning, and I did. I was tempted to pour a little of the number 1 tequila in it, but I did not.
Oh.
I will remind again the person whose milk I'm stealing from the refrigerator that we're almost out, so it's probably time you buy some more. And we're also out of maple sugar.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we do have enough APR coffee that'll last through the apocalypse.
Oh.
Because I mean, you should see our collection of APR coffee. We can try a different flavor every day because that's who we are. We are the people who get as much APR coffee as we need.
That's true.
Which, by the way, you should never have enough. I recommend not only Ron Sexual Chocolate, but also the Brandon Morse Code Monkey Bread Blend.
They really did make that like a riddle. Or, I mean, like not a riddle, but like a tongue twister.
Yeah, I'm doing this from memory, too. I don't have the label in front of me, so I may not be saying it right, but it is so good that the flavors are subtle. Just like Brandon. Just as
like
subtle.
Me.
Just as subtle as he is. So go to APR Coffee. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com and get yours today before it's too late.
That's right. What do you think is fake?
Yeah, Handicap Jeff, what do you think is fake?
I'm thinking it's a no-brainer. It's the one with the fence.
The fence?
Yeah, the fence that keeps...
The
reason
rabbits?
why is because you didn't spend any time on that story at all. You
The
just
rabbit
threw it
fence.
out there and then
The
moved on
rabbit
to something
fence.
else. Everything else you got tongue-tied on, so it made it pretty simple to figure out.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know you
Okay.
were.
Just saying.
He's an armchair psychologist, too.
I know. He's like getting into my head.
I have a degree.
I'm going, you know what? Let's see. Last time I stuck with you, I won, didn't I? I'm doing it. I'm sticking with Handicap Jeff. I'm going with the
rabbits and the fences?
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all over the place with the fans in the MeWe chat room. They have guessed almost all of them. Facebook says Amazon story is fake. The Amazon story. We're going for Amazon story being fake part 2 on Twitter.
All right.
Mayor Pete story is fake. And Sierra. The lasagna story. Everyone the pasta computer. I feel like is getting the most.
You ready?
Yeah, hit it.
And?
Butt judge is fake.
Damn it, Jeff, you let me down.
Sorry, guys.
You loser.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I am just so disappointed.
Sorry. I got you.
I'm never. That's what I get for following Handicap Jeff into this mess.
You shouldn't have done that.
No
You
kidding.
should
I mean,
not have
just
done
look
that.
at him. He doesn't even look smart.
hey.
Why did I even ever talk to you?
Call my lawyer.
Why did I ever
Call
even
my lawyer right
speak to
now.
you?
Stay right there, Brad.
Good
Don't you
grief.
go anywhere.
Wow. I'm so disappointed. I'm going to need therapy after this, I'm afraid. It's your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
Where can a guy get a drink around here?
I don't know. Ask Mississippi. I'm just collecting tickets tonight.
Come on, Peachy. I'm not slinging drinks tonight. I got caboose duty because Rusty is tired of it.
I thought Rusty liked the
I think
caboose.
Rusty's taking it in the caboose.
No,
Give me a drink.
He's driving the train.
Oh,
Come
on, guys. Come on.
Can we stay on track for 5 minutes?
Well, this is off track.
Yeah, you're right. If you want to get derailed, join us every Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on MoJo 50.
The Daily Mojo.
Larky F. and Farkin says, Brad, you needed therapy way before this, just saying.
This is his therapy.
This is my therapy. This is cheaper. This is not only cheaper than in therapy, it's cheaper than beer, technically. Technically. I don't have to pay as much for this as I do for beer.
By the way, I found out what our state frog is.
We have a state frog?
Texas does have a state frog.
Which, ironically, I saw one in the parking lot this morning, not kidding.
Really?
Yes, it was raining. A frog as I was trying to get to
frog, not the frog.
No, not the. Well, I know it could have been the frog. I mean,
maybe.
What frog is it?
It's the Texas toad. It's that simple. And it's actually a cute little bugger. Look at this guy.
Anticlimactic.
Look at this guy.
That's the one. That's the one I saw in the parking lot.
Nuh-uh. Was it really?
I don't know. It looked like a frog. It was dark. It was hopping in front of me.
Yeah,
it could have been that one. If it's our national frog, then
it's
why,
the amphibian, because it's
why
not a frog,
wouldn't
it's
it?
a toad.
Why couldn't it have been the frog? I mean,
the Texas toad is found throughout most of the state except western panhandle and wetter portions of East Texas.
Well, that could have been the frog then. That could have been the frog I saw. Oh, by the way, Rocky with an eye got it right.
Oh, did she?
She says, I think the Mayor Pete story is a fake one.
He's
not that important.
Rocky
so
Sharp. Rocky's a sharp one.
I know. She is. And Just Peachy says, MeWe calls Bravo Sierra on lasagna computer.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, of course, because the Mayor Pete story was real or was fake, the lasagna computer was real.
I think honestly, the ones that really get y'all are the ones that could be Poe's Law. And if you've never heard of Poe's Law,
tell us about Poe's Law.
Poe's Law is basically if I tell you a story that is 100% fake,
right,
but you 100% believe it because the action that I described, like in the story, is believable from that group that committed the action,
right?
You know. So they do it with feminists all the time, where it's like, well, feminist says that all men should be thrown in jail or serve prison time for like a year to teach them what it's like to yada, yada, yada. And we would immediately go, yeah, I bet that happened.
So if you tell a story about something that sounds like it was something that something would do.
Right. Yeah. And without question, you 100% believe it.
We have a law.
It's Poe's
just
Law.
for that.
It's called Poe's Law. Yeah.
Who is Poe?
I do not know. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Speaking of Mayor Pete, Kamala Harris is in the news. If Republicans continue to cower to the NRA, she will impose new gun controls by executive action. If Congress does not change the law, in other words, Harris will, although that is not part of the president's constitutional job description. California Senator's campaign website promises that, quote, if Congress fails to send comprehensive gun safety legislation to Harris's desk within her first 100 days as president, she's confident, including universal background checks, and assault weapons ban, and the repeal of the NRA's corporate gun manufacturer and dealer immunity bill, she will take executive action to keep our kids and communities safe. She does not.
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say to that.
Wow.
I'll say more. Look, guns they've always been a losing argument for the left. Every time it's like a negative issue for them. It's a negative net issue. People don't want to give up their guns.
No.
They don't. All right, I don't.
No.
And I mean, look, even if you did pass a law tomorrow, do you know how many people would not turn them over? You would make criminals out of just everyday citizens. And on top of this, I have had innumerable conversations with people who have very detailed plans about how they're going to hide their guns.
Well, and
if the law passes, and I believe that they will succeed.
How does this happen? Let's just say that they do ban, that they somehow the gun ban goes into effect.
Mm-hmm.
How do they enforce it?
They can't.
That would be, well, they can, I guess they can try. They can literally go to door.
Yep.
And search. But at that point, this no longer America. I mean, at the point where they ban guns, it's no longer America.
Yeah.
I mean, we make no mistake, we are on a slow march in that direction.
Yep.
Which is terrifying when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are, I mean, it's headed that way. I doubt, let me think about this. I do doubt that I'll see it in my lifetime.
You won't. I can guarantee you this right now. America it really does appreciate its right to bear arms. It really loves it. And every time they speak out against firearms and against your right, every time they want to punish you for something a criminal did, it turns people off even more. This is one of the reasons why the NRA is so powerful. It's because literally when they look down on you because of something that somebody else did, it really pisses you off. And it makes you think, oh, you're basically trying to lord over me. Americans, by their very nature, are rebellious. We're just a rebellious kind of people. We don't like authority. And so we are going to buck it as much as possible. This especially happens with our gun rights.
We like a good drink.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened during Prohibition.
Exactly.
And that was 13 years. I think 12 or 13 years that the ban of alcohol in this country took place. I mean, I know alcohol isn't guaranteed, and I get it. But they have, the government being they have taken steps and enforced a ban on some substance.
I was going to say, because I mean, even look at the war on drugs.
Yeah,
look at the war on drugs.
So it's been done.
Yeah,
I mean, this
it's not going to look at the.
I don't think it's that much of a stretch comparing that to
how often do you break the speed limit?
Right.
Like these are like the more they push a law on average citizens, the more they make an average citizen a criminal. And,
yeah.
And seeing as how gun rights are literally our right, You know, it really does turn people off. I think that what Kamala Harris is doing right now sounds good to the radical parts of the left, but to the rest of America, including many Democrats, it's like, no.
I just don't know that they would ever be, because if guns were outlawed, and that's why I was so pissed off that the president banned bump stocks.
Yeah,
by executive order. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, I think that was a stupid thing to do. Horrible idea.
No, Trump should not have done that. I don't even know why he even.
And the only justification I can come up with is the fact that he did it by executive order, which means it can be rescinded by the next president.
But the only problem is that now technically he's passed more anti-gun legislation than Obama has by that action, and so that's a black mark on him. And honestly, he should have maintained some kind of, and maybe it was the New Yorker in him, I don't know, but he should have maintained some kind of stance here where.
Well, it just didn't make sense. That ban doesn't make sense because you can make anything, well, not anything, but you can certainly create a bump stock out of a lot of different things.
Right. No, absolutely.
And so it was kind of almost an irrelevant. It's like I'm sure about the same thing when they banned silencers. Remember? Well, neither one of us remember that. Or when they banned machine guns.
Yeah.
So it's that slow walk. Could they eventually ban the? Yes, they could. But how would they enforce that? I just don't see.
The only way that they could do it is
happening.
Colorado tried to do something like that, and I'm pretty sure California and New York may have already succeeded. I haven't really looked into their state laws, but I mean, like the one thing they did in Colorado when I lived there was they were like, okay, you can't have a magazine that holds over 7 rounds. Or potentially could be altered to hold 7 rounds.
Well, and in California,
which means almost all of them.
Yeah, you had, instead of having the little button to remove the magazine, I think you have to use an Allen wrench. So it's in theory, it's so that you have to take more time to change the magazine out on your gun before you start shooting again.
Right.
Or you could just have 3 or 4 guns.
Right. But that's how they'll approach it. We're not coming after your gun. We're not trying to take your gun away. But you are trying to basically make it unusable.
Yeah.
You know, at one point in time in Colorado, they were trying to push the idea of basically having the gun disassembled. You know, in your home, you have to have it disassembled,
which pretty much defeats the purpose of having the gun.
Exactly. So I am. They won't come after the gun per se, but if they can get around it, they will. They're going to try to make your right completely unusable, but I mean that's. Again, the guy who passed that in Colorado, just to show you an example. Remember, Colorado's a blue state. The guy who passed that magazine law was primaried, gone, lost his job.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm Americans, even in blue states, they do not like it. They don't.
Kamala Harris thinks the president can, quote, mandate near universal background checks by requiring anyone who sells 5 or more guns a year to run a background check on all gun sales. Since only federally licensed dealers are legally required to run background checks, such a rule would require dramatically expanding that category. The problem is that federal law defines a gun dealer as somebody who is engaged in the business of selling firearms, which in turn is defined as a devoting time, attention, and labor to dealing in firearms as a regular course of trade or business, with the principal objective of livelihood and profit through the repetitive purchase and resale of firearms, end quote. Boy, I was written by a lawyer. Yeah. The statutory definition explicitly excludes a person who makes occasional sales, exchanges, or purchases of firearms for the enhancement of a personal collection or for a hobby. So it would be difficult. Under her plan, she says a hobbyist or collector who sells more than 4 guns in a single year would also be required to obtain a federal license and conduct background checks. So if you are a collector, so somebody who, if you buy or sell 4 or 5 guns every year, you'd have to get a federal license and conduct background checks. Wow. She,
this is not going to work out well for her.
I hope not. I hope not. She obviously believes it will.
Similar laws were passed in Australia, and I got to tell you, it didn't really help with their crime problem. It definitely didn't help in the UK when they passed these laws. But
It never does.
No,
That's
it
the
never
thing.
does. Look, if people want to commit a crime, they're going to find a way to do it. And you're not going to be able to stop them. They're going to find a weapon, be it a sharp knife or a heavy object. Trust me, it'll happen. Suicides aren't going to go down either, because suicides make up a lot of gun homicides, because it consists of suicides. And so they actually, when they passed the gun ban in Australia, suicides maintained. It didn't stop. People just found different ways to kill themselves. Taking away guns is not going to help you, period. All right? Right now, the UK has a higher knife crime, or has more deaths from knife crime than New York does guns. Well, it tells you something.
And then in England, you can't carry with you a knife longer than, what, a 6-inch blade, I think? It's something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can't do that because that's been criminalized.
Except in Texas. In Texas.
It's again, you can't legislate morality.
Mm-hmm.
You can't legislate a conscience. You cannot legislate human behavior that way. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Humans will always find a way around any given obstacle.
Yeah.
And generally, it's a 16-year-old kid in his mom's basement that finds the finds the workaround.
In Texas, it's you can basically just carry it, like you can be like Highlander. Just walk around with a huge sword on your back.
Don't you remember, though, the guy a few years ago who was it San Antonio? Where was he walking around with I think it was an AR on his back. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the police stopped him?
Yeah.
And I can't remember how they
I mean, there's nothing you can do, because
I think they took him in. I remember that being a big brouhaha.
It was probably a big brouhaha because the police had no right to take him in unless he was walking in an area where those guns were prohibited. But in Texas,
I think that may have been the case.
In Texas, we literally have zero laws in regards to long rifles. I could literally walk down the street with an AR on my back, and the police technically, I mean, they can stop and ask me questions. That's perfectly fine of them to do. But can they take me in? Can they stop? Can they fine me or charge me for? No.
This is back in. This was back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio man reportedly arrested while openly carrying his rifle while on a walk near his home on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Incident, which was video recorded by the gun owner, started out as a calm and reasonable conversation, but ended dramatically with the cops tasing the man before they put him in handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
While it's perfectly legal to openly carry a rifle in Texas, police reportedly arrested Henry Vishek. He was 19. Under a local ordinance that apparently prohibits residents from carrying a loaded rifle or shotgun within city limits.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, I'm not doing anything wrong when they approach him in the video. One of the officers claimed they received complaints that he was pointing his rifle at people. He denied doing such a thing. After several minutes of chatting, it seemed like the situation would be diffused. The gun owner would go, nope, you are not under arrest. You are free to go. You're just going to happen to walk home, and I'm just going to happen to make sure you get home safely. And as soon as you get home safely, you will never see us again.
Yeah.
And that's when they say the situation took the unexpected turn. They tased the dude.
Yeah.
So it's even
then here's what happened. Then he got tased because he was uncooperative.
Yeah, I mean,
not because he was carrying a gun.
Right.
You know, that's
in
the
theory.
nuance here.
In theory.
Backyard Cow says, I hate to break it to you, Brandon. Texas gun laws are shit compared to Missouri and Arizona too. Actually, Arizona has apparently very lax laws on how you can carry. And I do agree that Texas does need to improve their gun laws in the way of making it easier to carry around. And I think they are working toward that, last I checked. But also, Wade brought up a really good point. In Texas, I was in high school, we could carry knives as long as it wasn't bigger than our hand. And I can remember it was...
you could what?
You could carry a knife around as long as it wasn't bigger than your hand. In Texas high schools, back when he went to school. It was Mike Rowe who was telling a really interesting story. And it really does kind of highlight how far we've come in terms of being afraid of guns. How well like the anti-gun PR has worked.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally, they brought in, I think it was like either an M1 Garand or something like that, and or like an old World War II rifle. I couldn't remember if it was the Garand or the German equivalent. And he brought it in quite literally for like a school project or something like that. And he was just walking around with his rifle on his back.
Right.
And he got stopped by the principal, and the principal said, "What do you got there?" And he basically told him what it was. And the principal was like, cool. Can I look at it? And he's like, oh, can you bring it by my office later? We'll take a look at it. You know, and like he was freaking out because it was awesome.
Right.
You know, and even my uncle will tell stories. We used to have the shotguns on the racks in the back of our trucks, just full on display.
Yeah.
And
that's when I went to high school in California.
Right.
We had people with pickups had the rifle rack in the back window and rifles back there, and it was not a big deal.
But this is the sad thing. This is how good they've gotten.
Oh, they're very
with the
good at
anti-gun PR. It's like if you see a gun, your immediate reaction should be to freak out and call the police.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I know.
Why would you do that on somebody quite literally who is not even using the gun for? And seriously, he's the guy I want. He's the guy I want around. He's the guy I want chilling out at my place, at my school. Because if anything goes down, he's got his gun right there in the truck.
Yeah. I know. Times have changed. That's why I'm saying that this could eventually, I mean, this is the slow march toward this sort of tyranny that they could, in a future scenario, outlaw guns. And then what does it look like? I really do believe at some point in our future, and relatively near, there will be a revolution of some sort.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it looks like.
I don't know
I don't know if it's people in the streets with guns. I don't know if it's a quiet rebellion. I don't know what it looks like because the federal government is so large and so powerful now
that it's going to attempt to.
It would be very difficult to, if they became tyrants. It would be very difficult, and it would take the cooperation of a lot of people inside the government. To knock back. Which is, again, the whole reason this country was founded was to fight the oppression and the tyranny that the people were experiencing, and we have slow walked our way right back into the situation, which is really terrifying.
There was a really great article that came out on, I think it was Hot Air Town Hall. And it was about what would happen if we did engage in a civil war with our government. Because I forget who had brought it up.
Would it be a civil war, or would that be a revolution?
Technically, it would be a civil war.
It would?
Yeah, technically. Because you would have civilians on the left siding with the government.
Okay.
And,
All right.
And we would have to form a alternative government that would take over the one.
Right.
But because I do believe that I think it was Thomas Jefferson who said it. You know, you collapse the government if it becomes too big, and we would have to replace it.
Sure.
But he was talking about how the left is always talking about how, like, well, if we got into a civil war, you gun owners would be screwed because we have tanks and missiles and bombs and yada. We have all this equipment. And he was like, no, you don't know how to fight a war. It doesn't just take that. All right. First off, you would have to deal with the fact that a lot of the military would just leave.
Right.
They would leave because they're not going to invade and raid and kill U.S. civilians, their friends and family. They're not going to do it.
Right.
All right. So you're going to have a lot of defections. You're going to have a lot of AWOLs and stuff like that. And they're going to take their military expertise to the citizenry who is resisting, first off. Secondly, you can't use bombs and missiles on towns. For one, you would actually create a really bad PR problem. Really bad PR problem. Look what happens when police misuse their power.
Yeah.
All right.
But would they care at that point? Would
no, they wouldn't. But the point is that it would actually piss off a lot of the citizenry.
Yeah.
So even if they were on the fence, if they learned that they were bombing towns and killing citizens, no. The other thing is
you'd have the media though. You'd have the media characterizing it as the rebellion was quashed in this area, and it the rebellion was the cause of the bombing. The government had to bomb in this area to quash the rebellion.
The problem is like you're talking about national mainstream media, which I understand, but you'd still have A, Fox News, which is the most watched, but B, it would be the local news.
The other way.
The local news would be 100%. In favor of the community, the surrounding community, because they are that community.
Civil rebellion. MoJo 50 HR department. Sometime in the near future, there may be a civil rebellion. Mr. Beck, is that you? No, I believe that.
No, this is just common. Like this is something that is discussed quite a bit.
That's
actually,
where we're headed.
Yeah,
I really think that it's easy to not think about it. To just every day you get up, you go to work because frankly, who the hell has time to think about it? I mean, we've got 3 hours here every morning to sit around and think about things like this. But mostly, I mean, most people, it's easy. It's easier to get up every day, put on your clothes, have breakfast, go to work. At the end of the day, come home, check out, watch TV, whatever. If you're a small business owner, you've got things to do. You got people to see, places to go. You're very important. You're doing things. You have to take care of that. It's easier not to think about this stuff, which unfortunately is when this stuff sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it. I'm not painting a doomsday scenario. I'm just saying it's for. I mean, this is what's happening.
These are obviously things that even our founding fathers talked about because they lived it. They did it. We can talk about pole dancing if you want. Actually, before we switch gears, because I'm really into this now, and pole dancing is all fun and games until somebody takes a heel in the groin. Yeah. I found it's an article from Kurt Schlichter, and if you guys want, I can read this. It's called "Why Democrats Would Lose the Second Civil War." If the dolphin commits suicide at the end of it, no. The dolphin does not commit suicide at the end of this one. Okay. But yeah, he said it's obvious that the central tenet of the Democratic Party platform is now hatred and contempt for normal Americans. Taking their cue from the elites in Europe and Canada who are stripping dissenters of their free speech rights and religious freedoms, the leftist elite is moving to solidify its hold on power here with the eager assistance of tech companies and the moral support of the Fredocons who yearn to return to pseudo-relevance as the ruling class's slobberingly loyal opposition. In California, the leftist government is practically firing on Fort Sumter. And nationally, these aspiring fascists are especially eager to disarm normal Americans, like you and me. Doing so would be an object lesson in who's the boss, as well as solving the frustrating problem of the normals having the ability to resist. Probably because I've spent time where they actually had a civil war. Many people ask me, people whose names you know, whether I think this turmoil will all end in second civil war. They are seriously concerned, and not without cause. The left's hatred for normal Americans and its dedication to totally stripping the people who are the backbone of this country of their ability to participate in their own governance is threatening to rip this country apart. Do I think there will be a civil war? No, but there could be. This is the age of black swans, and anything is possible. We could easily see the country split into red and blue. Civil war is unlikely, but never underestimate Democrat stupidity and hatred. The Schlichter family learned that lesson a century and a half ago, and the last time the Democrats decided to try to impose their hatred on basic human rights on the rest of the country, when an army of Democrats burned our family hometown. Oh, they paid for it, and they would pay again. Democrats are 0-1 in insurrections, and if they went for another round, they would be 0-2. It's a matter of terrain, numbers, and morale. Do we need to talk about a sponsor? Because I can continue this into the next one. Okay, let's do that. Because, we do. First of all, because it gets juicy after this.
There's been a train derailment in Fort Worth.
Oh.
24 cars carrying ethanol.
Oh.
And we happen to be Haltom City. Beautiful downtown Haltom City is just a stone's throw from beautiful downtown Fort Worth. So if for some reason we disappear, it'll be because there's a giant what is it about this place and trains?
Dude, between Doc and now this ethanol spill and all the billboards about train safety, apparently Haltom City has a it has a history.
It has a beautiful downtown Haltom City. Must have a curse on it. No, eating more will keep you updated. And if we disappear, now you know why.
Yeah, if we suddenly go off.
Right. If we don't show up for the meeting, guess what? Eating more fruits and vegetables can make you happier. It could actually avoid a revolution. Because, I mean, if you're happy, who really wants to revolt?
Yeah.
If you're happy and you know it, why would you what? I gotcha. Why would you want to have a revolution if you're all happy and you're eating your fruits and veggies and everything's good? It's a study from Australia, so I'm not sure how much we can trust it. But that's what living the healthy lifestyle is all about. That's what living the Doc Thompson healthy lifestyle is all about. It's the quality of your life. I mean, how you can be alive. My mom would always say, it's a fate worse than death. And I'm like, what's worse than death? Oh, there's a lot worse than death. There's laying in the bed having somebody wipe your butt worse than death. Fate. Yeah. There's a lot worse than death.
Yeah.
So it's about quality of life. That's what the Rich Solution is all about. Their life extension brand of supplements. Here's the thing: you can get the life extension brand other places, but I'll tell you this: you're not going to find a better price. I'll bet you that. If you go to the Rich Solution and click on supplements, and then I'd price them out. See if you can find it better. Because Adam has said this to me before. You know, we worked a deal. We're not making very much money on this stuff. It's about the legacy that Gwen wants to leave behind.
Yeah.
So go to therichsolution.com and find out if that's something. I mean, if you're into taking supplements, if you're into a healthy life, if you just want to be Jabba the Hutt and lay around on the couch and make funny noises and smell bad.
Which,
fat,
I mean, hey,
whatever. I don't care.
Valid life decision.
Up to you. I'm not going to judge. I'm cool with that. There have been days I just want to be Jabba the Hutt on the couch.
I kind of was yesterday.
See?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm totally down with that. If you are, go for it. But if you are looking for a healthier way of living, try therichsolution.com. Therichsolution.com. Hey, we still have some time left. You want to continue? Or do you want to wait? Do you
I'm
want
going
to
to wait because this gets saucy. I love it. I love this art. It's such a well-written article. Kurt Schlichter is an old friend of mine. He writes for Town Hall, and he's ex-military.
Friends,
huh?
You don't have friends.
Somebody that I grazed by one time. You know, we brushed arms as I was walking by.
I saw him on TV once. Pink Floyd says pole dancing. All right, so I don't know if you've been, since we have a minute to kill. Pink Floyd is talking about a wacky lap dance here during MoJoCon. I don't know if you saw the conversation, but he first offered it to me, and I think that it has been. I think you have been passed the baton, Brandon. I think that Pink Floyd may be doing a wacky lap dance for you during MoJoCon.
No.
Why?
No.
I mean, wait, is this the way you treat someone who offers you a gift?
Yeah.
Who offers you the gift of a wacky lap dance?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I didn't raise you that way.
Okay. If I crapped in the bag,
right,
and wrote wacky on it, and handed it to you, would I be okay? Could I be offended that you didn't accept my gift?
Are you comparing a wacky lap dance to a bag of wacky poop?
I am.
Wow.
What are you going to do?
That's no wonder you don't have any friends.
I have friends.
Unfortunate.
You don't know me.
Obvious, but unfortunate. It's hour 2 in the bag. Speaking of in the bag, we'll be drinking next hour. Why not? Your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Turning his attention to the crisis on the southern border, President Trump on Twitter this morning writes, Mexico's soldiers recently pulled guns on our National Guard soldiers, probably as a diversionary tactic for drug smugglers on the border. Better not happen again. We are now sending armed soldiers to the border. The president and the first lady at a conference in Atlanta will discuss efforts to end the opioid crisis.
The first couple will attend the Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit, which draws several thousand people, including public health officials and politicians. The president and first lady will highlight the administration's initiative aimed at stopping opioid abuse and reducing drug demand. According to the White House, opioid-involved deaths have more than doubled over the last decade.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The White House announcing a new round of trade talks between the U.S. and China. President Trump has directed the U.S. Trade Representative and Treasury Secretary to travel to Beijing for continued negotiations beginning April 30th. Police in Sunnyvale, California, holding the driver of a car they say ran into a group of pedestrians last evening, injuring 8 people. Police Captain Jim Choi says it was apparently no accident.
We do have witness statements that show that the vehicle did not attempt to slow down or brake, and that the scene itself doesn't show any kind of evidence of braking.
He tells KGO-TV all of the injured were taken to the hospital, Sunnyvale, a city in the Silicon Valley not far from San Jose. Investigators in Sri Lanka trying to verify claims that ISIS was behind the Easter Sunday suicide bombings that killed 359 people. Another 18 people were arrested overnight. On Wall Street, Dow futures up 17 points, S&P futures down a fraction. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You get great service and you do some good in the world with Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. Start saving money, get great coverage, and do a little bit of good because they support companies, organizations, and candidates that you like. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. patriotmobile.com/doc.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, it's Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. You know, everyone lives with a little bit of pain, but living with diabetes can be a real pain. While you may have to test your blood sugar and take insulin, ordering your testing supplies shouldn't be one more pain you have to deal with. At least it's not when you work with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines to purchase your supplies, or sorting through your insurance requirements to figure out what they cover. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give Diathrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's Diathrive.com.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches. Mothership has landed.
We're not dead yet.
Not yet, at least.
No, we went out and we stood on the banks of the beautiful MoJo River, and the grizzly bears didn't seem phased. They were still sweeping down into the waters as they drifted over the rocks and catching the salmon on their paws.
Yeah.
We
bathing
did not
in the waterfall.
Yeah, it was really a pretty sight. You wouldn't even know that 24 cars full of ethanol have derailed somewhere in Fort Worth.
From what I understand, though, the MoJo River pretty much is about like 85% ethanol as it is. But
that's true.
You know,
that's true. You can put it in your tiki torches.
You can.
It will keep the mosquitoes away.
That is 100% true. This is why we maintain no mosquito bites on us every time we come in.
It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely amazing.
Smacking Ducks is with that inconvenient train ethanol spill. Brad Staggs will have to refrain from his normal habit of thumping lit matches from the box as he walks around town. I didn't know that anybody knew I did that.
They're watching you, buddy.
And just everywhere I go. And Smacking Duck actually brought up a good, but why would half the military leave when they could actually take over the military structure and kick out the moronic Tories? Aha. Out of the mouths of babes.
Also good.
Anyway, we're discussing the revolution and what it might look like in this country, because there's nothing like revolutionary talk on a Wednesday to really get you pumped and ready for the weekend.
I love talking about, because I'm Texan, and the secede thing is always kind of in the back of every Texan's mind. Like, we could do it.
And it's obvious that dumbasses run the government most of the time. So
and so this is something that my brother and I talk about actually probably more often than we should.
I can see that happening. I like your brother. He's cool.
But Kurt Schlichter, who is ex-military, he gave a really great rundown of what a civil war would look like. If any did erupt, and as he was talking about, if it did erupt nowadays, it would erupt basically on party lines, a red versus blue kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I can 100% see and believe. But Kurt he's looking at it from not a movie standpoint. He's looking at it from a pure military standpoint, what the realities would be.
Yeah.
And he starts getting into it in this article that I've started reading. I'm going to go ahead and pick back up with it.
Get your popcorn, everybody. Settle back in your chair.
Democrats who think history began when Obama was elected don't understand the dangerous game they are playing. when they talk about how they want to impose their brown shirt vision upon red America. The keyboard commandos of the left seek to hand-wave away the massive strategic challenge of imposing control by force upon a well-armed, decentralized citizenry occupying the vast majority of the territory. So they babble about drones and tanks and counterinsurgency trump cards. But there are no trump cards in war. There are men with rifles standing on patches of dirt, killing the people trying to push them off. That's the ugly reality of war. And multiply the usual brutality of war by 10 when it's a civil war. There are two Civil War II scenarios, and the left is poorly positioned to prevail in either one. The first scenario is that the Democrats take power and violate the Constitution in order to use the apparatus of the federal government to suppress and oppress normal Americans. In that scenario, red Americans are the insurgents. In the second scenario, which we can now even see the stirrings of in California's campaign to nullify federal immigration law, it is the blue states that are the insurgents. The Democrats lose both wars, big time. Let's talk terrain and numbers. Remember the famous red versus blue voting map? There's a lot of red, and in the interior, the few blue splotches are all cities like Las Vegas or Denver. That is a lot of territory for a counterinsurgent force to control, and this is critical. The red is where the food is grown, the oil is pumped, and through which everything is transported. And that red space is filled with millions of American citizens with small arms, a fairly large percentage of whom have military training. Remember what two undertrained idiots did in Boston with a couple of pistols? They shut a city down. Now multiply that by several million with better weapons and training. Let's look at the counterinsurgent forces in the Democrat oppression scenario. Should they attempt to misuse our law enforcement and military in an unconstitutional manner to take the rights of American citizens? There are a lot of civilian law enforcement officers, but the vast majority of the agencies are local, sheriffs, small-town police departments. They will not be reliable allies in supporting unlawful oppression of their friends and neighbors. And I'm gonna break here real fast because I want to add, this is already happening in Colorado right now. All right, I think it's like I think it was 23, possibly more counties are basically saying, the officers saying, we're going to go to jail before we enforce this red flag law that they've got going on in Colorado.
Yeah, what was it? What's the law that they want to? It's the
they basically a person can come up to a judge, a court judge, and be like, hey, this guy, I don't think he should own guns.
Right.
You're not invited to this hearing or anything like that to defend yourself. And the judge, he might go, yeah, take his guns. Yeah. And then you have to earn your right to have a firearm back.
Right. So yeah,
in the second hearing.
So yeah, I think you're right. 23 sheriffs said they would.
Yeah,
they go to jail before they enforced it.
Right, and so you already see this happening. Even this isn't even like a large scale war scenario. It's literally, this is unconstitutional. We're not going to enforce it. This is an illegal thing to do. The major cities' police departments are run by Democrat appointees, so the commands would be loyal, but the rank and file, a small percentage would be ideologically loyal. More would be loyal because that's their paycheck. They could be swayed or intimidated to support the rebels. Others would be actively sympathetic to the insurgents. This is true of federal law enforcement agencies as well. Now, the military? Well, wouldn't the military just crush any resistance? Not so fast. The military would have the combat power to win any major engagement, but insurgents don't get into major engagements with forces that have more combat power. They instead leverage their decentralized ability to strike at the counterinsurgents' weak points to eliminate the government's firepower advantage. In other words, hit and run and no stand-up fights. Think The Patriot, if you've ever seen that Mel Gibson movie. For example, how do a bunch of hunters in Wisconsin defeat a company of M1A2 Abrams tanks? They ambush the fuel and ammo trucks. Oh, and they wait until the gunner pops the hatch to take a leak, and they put a 30-06 round in his back from 300 meters. Then they disappear. What do the tanks do then? Go level the nearest town? Great. Now they just moved the needle in favor of the insurgents among the population. Pretty soon, they can't be outside of their armored vehicles in public. Their forces are spending 90% of their efforts not on actual counterinsurgency operations, but on force protection. Sure, they have their own forward operating bases, and they own a few hundred meters around them, wherever they happen to be standing at the moment, but the rest of the territory is bright red. But the military is so big, it would overwhelm any rebels, right? Well, how big do you think the military is? And more importantly, how many actual boots on the ground can it deploy? Let's put it in terms of brigade combat teams, which total about 4,500 troops each. There are about 60 brigades in the Army, active and reserve, here and abroad. And let's give the Marines another 10 brigades for about 70 brigades. Sounds impressive, but that's deceptive. Let's put aside a big consideration: the existence of red states that would provide for an insurgent government structure and possibly attract the loyalty of some National Guards and even federal brigades. For example, if President Hillary Clinton put down her Chardonnay long enough to sign a ban on privately owned guns, it's not unreasonable to expect the governor of Texas to reject federal authority. After all, California just taught us that this is totally cool. He's talking about the immigration laws, rejecting immigration. But in this case, look for several brigades located there to hoist the Lone Star flag. So, now the blue states are facing unconventional and conventional forces. Let's ignore that problem and focus on a different challenge. Even a normal unit has about 10% non-deployable members. Now, if these troops were assigned to combat operations against other Americans, you would have significant additional losses through desertion. Many of the senior leaders would participate, the Obama generation, for one. And there's a certain type of junior officer only too happy to curry favor by sucking up in defiance of their oath, which is to the Constitution, not some leftist presidents. You can identify them because they usually have strategist in their Twitter bios. But a lot of key capable officers and NCO leaders and enlisted troops would vanish. That is proper. It is a violation of their oath to unconstitutionally oppress fellow Americans. Their duty would be to refuse such unlawful orders. So, you have significantly understrength units going in. Now, how many troops in a brigade are actually even frontline combat troops? About a third. The rest are support. So a brigade is really about 1,500 riflemen tops before you count losses. Cut those in half for sleep, training, and refitting at any one time, which is very generous. And your brigade is really 750 troops on your best day with everyone showing up. Realistically, it's 300. That holds one mid-sized town. One. And there are hundreds of mid-sized towns. Plus, there are millions of normal Americans who would fight back. Nothing would move without their permission. A few guys shooting up big rigs along the interstate would shut down the entire trucking industry. Bottom line, there simply is not enough military forces to clear and hold Red America. Now, what about the drones and the bombers? The thing they like to bring up a lot?
Yep.
Both are useful. But the minute a bombing strike kills some red civilians, the families and counterinsurgent drones operators and pilots will be knocking at the base gates to be let inside. Now you'll need many more of those brigades to protect the civilians you now need to protect from retribution. Civil wars are harsh. That's why you avoid them. Now, how about this blue insurgency scenario? Oh, you need to go in for a...
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, I'm over here. I'm putting my shopping list together.
How about the blue insurgency scenario? That goes even worse for Democrats. You have the federal government apparatus in the hands of Red America, and the insurgents are the opposite and decentralized in arm. They are conveniently centered in gun-unfriendly blue cities. In other words, the blue civilian population is much less of a threat. A red counterinsurgency avoids the problem of a decentralized insurgency and insecure logistical lines. In the case of California, whose secessionist antics are approaching the point where President Trump could legitimately employ his power to crush insurrections, the tactical problem is relatively simple. For example, San Francisco is a hotbed of treason, but the populace is largely unarmed and is trapped in a confined area. You put a brigade on securing the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges, then put a brigade on the San Francisco Peninsula to cut off the I-280 and US 101 corridors. Next, you go to the Crystal Springs Dam and cut off the water. Then you watch and wait as the tech hipsters run out of artisanal sushi rice and kombucha. After about a week, they surrender. After all, you can't eat and drink smugness. LA is just bigger in scope. More corridors to cut off. But in the end, the population concentrates in the large liberal urban areas that are their strength, also make them extremely vulnerable and logistically pressurable. Then there's another factor, the intangible but crucial one. It's commitment. The Democrat threat to peace is based on its policies designed to deprive normal Americans of their right to speak freely, to worship freely, and to defend themselves and their rights with firearms. Make no mistake, millions of normal Americans are willing to risk death to defend those rights, i.e. our listeners. In fact, many swore to do so when they entered our military and law enforcement. But who is the leftist big talker willing to die to impose a fascist dream of censorship, religious oppression, or disarming of normal American citizens? Is the screeching SJW at Yale going to suit up in Kevlar? Is the Vox columnist going to grab an M4? Is the Hollywood poser going to switch her gyno beanie for a helmet? No. Hell, we just heard our liberal opponents explaining why a cop shouldn't be expected to go fight a scumbag murdering kids because it's scary. He's talking about Parkland. America might split apart, but it's highly unlikely Team Kale and Vinyl would fight should their big talk finally push normal America too far. So, amazing article from Kurt Schlichter, and he pointed out some really amazing
Can I sum it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
The right has the guns and the balls, and the left are a bunch of pussies.
Correct.
All right.
And they have no idea.
There you go.
About how to fight a war. They talk a big game.
Yes.
But they have to. They talk all this game behind literal citizens, red state citizens who are willing to protect them.
Yes.
What happens if they go, oh yeah, well all of you are you red state citizens, you people who vote Republicans and who want your rights and freedoms. Yeah, we're in charge of you now, and you better obey, or else. Or else what? Because we're the ones with the guns. We're the ones who are actually willing to get out there and do violence on your behalf. Now, all of a sudden, you're telling us to do violence against ourselves? That's funny.
That cost extra, too.
But yeah, no, it's just...
Yes.
It's a civil war scenario is not going to go well for the Democrats at all.
May fortune favor the foolish.
Yeah.
And speaking of foolish, hard left turn.
Yep.
Right turn, Clyde. McDonald's has new paper straws, and they're ruining milkshakes. See, now, let's talk about the important stuff in life now. I mean, all this talk of Revolut, all this petty talk, this insignificant garbage. Let's talk about the real things that are ruining society. Paper straws.
Mm-hmm.
They're ruining milkshakes at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to suck anything through a paper straw after about 10 minutes?
It
is not easy. It's
not the best.
It's like pushing a chain down the street.
Yeah.
Which is an old adage. McDonald's customers are angry because these plastic straws have been replaced by the paper ones. They've decided to make the switch to reduce damage to the environment and killing that one turtle. It didn't even kill the turtle, did it?
No, it didn't. They took it out of its nose and let it go. It was fine.
And now we are all paying because now we have to have these paper straws. One of the upset customers tweeted with the paper straws, they're fine for Coke, but the other day I had a milkshake and I'm assuming they mean like Coca-Cola. The other day I had a milkshake and I struggled so much that I ended up getting one of my own plastic straws at home. And you wonder again why revolution will look funny.
Yeah.
Because these are the problems that plague America. Wow. Another person compared using the straws to sucking on a tampon.
What?
How they know, I don't know.
Yeah. Is that common?
Well, okay. Before you get all grossed out, remember that's what some of the youths of America were doing not long ago, making the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The sanitary. Ugh.
I mean, if you put challenge in front of things, apparently, younger people will do it.
So customers,
like the snorting condom challenge,
right? And I will. To my point here, customers were so upset that they started a petition to bring back plastic straws, which has more than 30,000 signatures. 30,000 signatures. And may I point out that the petition that Chris Salcedo started, that I've tweeted out many times, and the audience here has signed it, and is a total of 6,000 signatures. The petition to bring some sort of justice to the Obama administration, that received a total of, I think it's 5,500. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it is, here it is right here. I'll tell you exactly how many people have signed the petition to bring accountability to Obama-era government. So far, 5,637. A great number of those from this audience, from Chris Salcedo's audience. And yet 30,000 people have signed the freaking petition to bring back plastic straws at McDonald's.
Good. Because
that's
this is
where we are.
Stupid law.
That's where we are.
Stupid.
But that's what people are concerned about. That is what, I mean, that's how... Look, we deserve what we get if we can't get 100,000 people to sign this damn petition. It's frustrating.
This is so ridiculous. I don't understand what the... this is all a bunch of...
We are busy. I get it. We are busy. We are
Yeah.
busy people. We're busy. It's hard to make a living. It's hard to pay the bill. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all, and I just tweeted out a link to it on the show account again.
Mm-hmm.
Sign the petition.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some accountability to government.
Mm-hmm.
But 30,000 people will sign the damn plastic straw petition.
Yeah.
I give up. I give up.
It all boils down to, what the popular thing is of the day, because a lot of people do believe that the plastic straw thing is stupid.
It is stupid.
It
but
is
how,
stupid.
how
But
can,
people are mad about it. And
how can it get so much attention?
Because it's the thing that is easy to do. It's easy to comprehend. It's easy to deal with, and it's easier to talk about. That's why.
By the way, ironically, our sponsor for this half hour of the program is the Gun Box.
I love the Gun Box.
We have some actual audio of opening one of the gun boxes. This is recorded this earlier, and it is it's amazing. I mean, it's if you've not heard, it's a unique sound when the gun box opens. When you wave across either the RFID tag, or you open it with your fingerprint, or in fact you use the keypad. One of the 3 ways to get into the gun box.
Mm-hmm.
The next sound you hear,
I'm sexy and I know it.
I mean, that is the actual sound of the gun box opening. I mean, it's true too. I mean, it's not bragging if you can do it, and that is, my friends, what the gun box sounds like
when you open it. Yeah.
What the gun box looks like when you open it.
Yeah.
If we had one here in the studio, we'd open it and you'd hear.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I'm just saying. We do need to get one, Ron. We need to get a gun box.
Yeah, I think Matt's on that.
Good. So we should have it by 2021. Good to know. If you go to thegunbox.com, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. I mean, these things are not just safe storage and quick access for your gun, but they are just sexy.
Sexy, and I know it.
I mean, they really...
Yeah.
You open that. You wave your hand across it.
Yeah.
And
I'm sexy and I know it.
by the way, that is an earworm, and it will be stuck for the rest of the day. And not only do they have the gum box, the 2.0, but the little, I call it little, the little Echo. The little Echo. Oh, the little Echo. It's so cute. This is the Echo is the one you take with you. The 2.0 is the one you have next to the bed. The SK1 is the one you have in the living room.
Nice.
Or in the office.
Yeah.
It's just really cool looking.
Yeah, I think we should have a few around here.
I think we do. Yes. I mean, I see.
If anything ever happens, I would just want to be able to have that, like, you know, Death Wish kind of kick off, and then like it's right there. I can grab it.
I think we put it right next to the bar.
I do think, though, it would give our position away. You know, if somebody did try to raid us and we opened up the gun box and I'm sexy and I know it. Well,
wait a minute. So we open up the gun box and what?
It would play.
So we open it up and
I'm sexy and I know.
They'd be like, oh, they're over there.
Yes.
But the song is so catchy, they might just stop what they're doing and just dance for a little
start dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no harm in that. And,
dance off, bro.
No judgment either.
Kevin John Hudgings says, hey, Alex, he's talking to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, says the capitalist system works just fine. If it ain't broke, don't Marx it.
Hold on.
Wait for it. There it is.
I was on a different screen. I apologize. By the way, thegunbox.com.
Gunbox. Sorry. I jumped ahead there. That was such a good.
No, it wasn't. I totally agree. That was me. That I was behind, and I apologize. I was not keeping up with my host duties over here. Blah, blah, blah. We just pause when we hear it now. Fast food paper straws and sippy cups might just be
the last straw. We really have the most clever audience.
Except for that one guy.
Except for him. He's a horrible person.
Yes,
I hate that
really
guy.
is.
You guys just stumbled into something, said Rocky with an eye. If dumbass teens will do anything that says challenge in front of it, why not create a MoJo 50 challenge and have them send you money? What we need to do.
Oh, I like this.
What we need to do is raid 4chan as a group.
Yeah.
And just like we come up with a
Tell
weird
me what
challenge.
that is again.
4chan?
Yeah. I mean, I know what it is, but for everybody who doesn't know what it is, just tell
Have you ever heard of the internet?
Yeah.
Before? You know what that is?
Some of it.
So
some of it I've heard of.
So you access it through your computer, and if you go to your internet browser, which is like AOL, I guess for you.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
After I hit dial up.
Yes.
You've got mail.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good.
Thank you.
You go to 4chan.com, and they're anonymous message boards.
Who is this Chan person that we're for?
He's a really funny guy. But yeah, they have anonymous message boards, and a lot of the internet challenges that you see popped up because 4chan. Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of internet hoaxes start on 4chan because it's like a group of dudes just getting together and being like, hey, you know what'd be funny?
That's where we go.
Yep.
4chan.com, and then the MoJo 50 money challenge. Send us money. We dare you. You think Tide Pod eating is tough. You think inhaling or eating cinnamon is tough. It is really tough.
Yeah.
To send us money at MoJo 50.
It's a serious challenge, an internet challenge that I don't think you can do.
All right.
Honestly, I don't think you can do it.
So if I go to 4chan and it's I completed. Oh, good, because it was like you have to press this button next, and it was like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not installing that on my computer.
Not again.
Was that right?
Not doing that again.
I mean, that might interfere with the porn download.
Never gonna click that monkey.
No, don't. No. Don't click that monkey. That's a great idea. We go over there, the MoJo 50 money challenge. Don't you dare send, you disgusting person. Don't you begin to think about sending us money.
Yeah, don't do that.
Here.
Or sending us things at Suspicious Package Friday.
Right. Oh, yeah, Suspicious Package Friday. Don't forget to send it in. Get it here by Friday, because that way we can open it on Friday since it's Suspicious Package Friday.
And don't forget the sub game we like to play, Will Ron Eat It?
Will Ron eat it? Will he touch it? Will he do it? And how much will it cost?
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Critics of President Trump and his stance that there is a crisis at the southern border have come from the far left, libertarians, and even from within his own Republican Party. Getting to the truth of crisis or not has not been an easy task. But it's hard to ignore that Trump may indeed be right to call it a crisis these days. Earlier this week, the Customs and Border Patrol released apprehension numbers for March of this year. In just the Rio Grande Valley sector alone, they've experienced more apprehensions in the first 6 months of fiscal 2019 than all of 2018 combined. According to the numbers, over 164,000 people have been detained since October of 2018 when the fiscal year began. In all of fiscal 2018, the Rio Grande Valley sector experienced just 162,262 apprehensions. To further put this in perspective, in just 6 months, there have been 15,310 unaccompanied minors apprehended. That's already 64% of the total from last year. Meanwhile, the number of family units crossing the border in the Rio Grande Valley sector has already surpassed last year, with 79,000 people compared to just over 63,000 last year. But it isn't just the Rio Grande Valley sector that tells us we're seeing a crisis happening. Let's look at some of the total numbers to come from the March report by CBP. To date, there is a 370% increase in family units apprehended at the border. Furthermore, 60% of those caught are either family units or unaccompanied minors. Oh, and lest you think the caravans are over, so far this year the CBP has apprehended 104 large groups, which it classifies as 100 more people. Last year, that number was 13. While we may have a vigorous and important debate to have over how to handle what's happening at the border, calling it anything other than a crisis is to ignore the facts as they stand. I'm Andrew Coppins, and this has been By the Numbers. You can follow me in all the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Oh, by the way, just saying.
I'm sexy and I know it.
That one jackhole, yay, I'm a horrible person. Also, my suspicious package should be there by Thursday.
Do me a favor, Brad, and read off the address where they can send their suspicious packages.
I just want you to know, before I read, I just want you to know, this morning, grammed an easy... Like I said that.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
I grammed an easy way to remember our address.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was fairly easy. Didn't you?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Ron, did you see the way?
I did not see it. What'd you put out?
You really? I mean, I don't know how to show it to you because it's on my phone.
Oh.
But I showed.
I'll go look at it.
It's an easy way to remember our address here, and it's it's a picture of our address.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's how you remember. You
6125.
Thank you.
Airport Freeway.
Right.
Suite 2018.
Right.
Haltom City, Texas. 76117.
You don't even remember the zip code.
I almost gave you mine.
Be sure to send your suspicious package to that address.
The person who was sending the packages that had postage due, so they sent an envelope. They sent you another package, by the way. They sent an envelope that inside the envelope was a note.
Wait a minute. When you opened the envelope, did it say,
I'm sexy and I know it?
No, I did. I said that when I opened the envelope. Inside the envelope was a little note, and inside the little note was $5 that said, sorry for the deal. But it was surrounded by glitter, and it had exploded in the mail. So there is glitter.
Oh, yes.
The herpes of art on the floor in
the
here.
The herpes of of the craft world.
Well done.
It is all over the floor in here.
Nice. Who is that? Do we know?
Yeah, it was. I forget who it was.
Let me see if I can get it off the package.
Is it Madame Sue
That's freaking great.
It's not Madame Sue Jackhole.
I don't know if it is or not.
Is it Zig the Trucking Monkey?
That would be one Lauren Chase. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that.
Is she hot?
Is she?
Ron? I was asking you a direct question, Ron, and he just ignored it. Is she hot?
No, I didn't ignore it. I was putting the package back. I don't know if she's hot.
Hold on.
Let's just.
You were doing what?
Putting the package back.
So she's hot, is what you're saying.
I always presume that women are hot. So yes is the answer.
It is safer that way. It is much safer. By the way, yeah, when you do send a package for Suspicious Package Friday, if you include a picture of yourself, if you're hot. I mean, if you're not hot, don't do it.
They're going to start including like clippings of Mia Khalifa.
Okay. That's fine. I just think I think it's
Brandon
appropriate.
knows who Mia Khalifa is.
She's become kind of like
who doesn't? Who doesn't know?
Who doesn't know? Who
right,
Mia
but
Khalifa
for the people who don't know, who is Mia?
She is a porn star.
I knew that. I mean,
there's like a song called Mia Khalifa, and it's like the most famous thing on TikTok, right? You know, the hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? And it's called Mia Khalifa.
Wow.
I have a confession.
Oh God.
You did it once in high school when you were drunk?
No, but I should have.
What was his name?
I should have tested the dog before I brought him up here.
What?
Because if I don't keep my finger on this mute button, the farts this dog are letting go in here are so loud, and he's asleep. They're so loud it'll go over the mic. So I'm keeping my finger on the mute button.
Oh, this is so great.
All right, so
it is not
so great.
It is not. Thank you,
Griffin the dog, who is been coming to work with Ron the past.
He had a little
days.
surgery, so I'm having to babysit.
He's a cute little dog, a boxer.
He's a boxer.
And he's
rescue.
a boxer rescue, which I don't understand. What is it about? I didn't realize that there was a boxer rescue program and why they needed to be rescued.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the turn your porn down. I understand the greyhounds and getting them out of the track. I get all that, but what is it about boxers that need to be rescued? I mean, are they? I don't. What's the story?
This
behind
little guy was found roaming the streets in South Texas. He was a nasty mess. They brought him in. They had him for about a month, cleaned him all up. We rescued him 2-3 days ago.
Okay.
So
he's a cute dog.
Yeah,
he's a lovable little poochie.
He is lovable.
He is. He just wants to rub his own neck.
I love that dog. Seriously. I want that dog to sit in that chair the entire time just so I can pet him.
And he has a thing for lusty Jill Hole too, by the way, because he came.
Boy, he stares at her, doesn't he?
He stares.
He does what I want to do, and I just can't get away with it. So
wow. Okay.
Fart in that room and stare at lusty Jill. That's kind of Ron's MO.
Never mind. Jack Hole Angry Beaver says, I almost sent a package of glitter, but decided I wouldn't do that because it might damage the equipment, and then I'd miss my MoJo 50 radio.
Oh.
See, having a conscience sucks.
Yeah.
It really does. And the other thing that that she said that I really need to stop doing.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Is that
Yeah, there's that, and then Game of Thrones talk.
Oh,
a couple of our listeners really get mad and they leave.
Oh, I think.
And you know what?
We need to do a review of the review.
I think we should, because Ron didn't get to talk about it.
No, he didn't.
You want to hear my theory about how it will end? Because I'm going to tell you right now.
No, because that'll just piss me off. I don't want to know how it ends.
I
don't want to know how it ends.
It's a theory.
I know, but I don't want your theory yet. How do you think it's going to end?
Okay, I'll tell you. All right. And Ron. Here's how I think it's going to end. Ready?
Let me hear it.
Here we go. Gendry will win the throne.
Yeah.
Gendry, because technically he's the rightful heir.
Wait, is that Jon Snow?
No, Gendry.
Gendry is the one that Arya had sex with.
Yeah.
He's what?
Gendry is the one that Arya had sex with in the last episode. I think
he's Robert Baratheon's.
He's Robert Baratheon's illegitimate child, but still his only child, and technically that makes him heir to the throne.
I always get the names wrong. I remember Arya. I remember the normal names, but I can't remember all the.
And here's the funny part. Arya grew up not wanting to be a princess or a queen or any of that nonsense, and she ends up being Gendry's queen, which is amazing. I think that Sansa...
odd because I always thought that Ron was the queen.
That's me, baby.
Thank you.
I think that Sansa will rule the North. It's going to be split into two kingdoms. I think that Jaime is the prince that was promised, the Azor Ahai.
Uh-huh.
And the way he's going to get his flaming sword is that he plunges Oathbringer into Cersei to kill her. That's what's up.
Flaming sword.
This is HBO, don't forget. And he withdraws the flaming sword. He kills the Night King.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
See that?
Daenerys and Jon die.
It's not Daenerys, it's Daenerys.
Daenerys,
it's not Daenerys, damn it. This way, Daenerys, damn it. By the way, let's see. I haven't played. Let's just see what happens.
观众朋友们，大家好，我是由新华社和搜狗公司联合培育的 AI。
Can you take this full screen there, Ron?
从今天起，我从桌子后面走到
That's a
了
very
台
good point.
前，
Thank you.
由过去的作者播新闻。
This, by the way, what you're listening to, if you are listening to the podcast, is a robotic news and weathercaster.
Yeah, he's not real.
This dude is not real.
Yeah.
Well, he's real, but he's real in a computer sense.
Yeah.
He is not a human being.
Yeah.
Neither she.
Yeah. This is freaking crazy.
This is Yes. This is the future of broadcasting.
CGI broadcasting.
I mean, they already have what are called virtual sets, and you've probably seen one and didn't even know it.
We've used virtual sets before we had the studio built.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, you cannot trust your eyes.
Yep.
You can't trust your ears, first of all.
Yeah.
Who was it that said believe?
Brad, text me that link when you get a chance.
How much money you got?
$477 million.
I'm sending it to you now. Now you know my price.
Good callback.
You already can't trust your ears because you just don't know what how audio has been manipulated, and now you cannot trust your eyes. And we are not that far away from not even needing actors in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, we're relatively short distance from that time that computers will be powerful enough to recreate the human form and make it do anything.
Look at what they're doing in Marvel movies right now. With the de-aging process.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because they've already done it to Robert Downey Jr. They did it to Scarlett Johansson. They've done it like the entire movie.
I'd like to do it to
Samuel
Scarlett Johansson. Thank you.
They've already. Gosh damn it, Brad! Now I completely lost my train of thought.
Who else they do it to?
They did it to Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
For the entirety of Captain Marvel.
Right.
And one other person I can't remember now. But I mean, like it looks so convincing and real.
Right. And when you look at him, you think,
I'm sexy and I know it.
I'm such a dick. No, seriously, that is you. Here's the other thing that it's going to affect is courtroom video. When like the Jussie Smollett case. I'm surprised they haven't actually brought that up.
Yeah.
Because you could manipulate footage in a security camera to, I was attacked by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, look, there's the video of it right there. He's beating the crap out of me. And how do you, other than we have affidavits of people that were next to Mr. Schwarzenegger and he was halfway around the world when this happened. But how do you start defending that? How do you introduce evidence, video evidence in a courtroom when you can?
Oh, here's a much scarier thing. let's say that our major news organizations get their hands on this kind of technology. Let's just say that they do, or any organization really that it deals in telling
someone like Dan Rather.
Yeah, I mean, think about what they can make up and show you that didn't ever happen,
right?
But they've got video footage of it, so here it is, and people really believe that it happened. How do you say, or how do you tell the difference? Because remember, folks, many people don't really look into the news. They just believe what they're told because it happened on TV, and if it's on TV, it must be true.
Wait, are you saying it's not?
I mean, you know.
Okay, just checking. No, but you're right.
I hope Firefly is true because that's a really.
It better be. But you cannot trust your eyes anymore.
Michael Douglas and Ant-Man. Thank you, Jeff Westbrook. Yeah, you're
that's right. They did make him.
Yeah, Michael Douglas looked spitting image like young Michael Douglas in Ant-Man.
Wow,
it's that crazy.
I mean, that's what we do here every morning, every day here at the Daily Mojo.
I'm actually 85 years old.
And you don't look a day over 60.
That's right.
It is truly amazing what can be done with video technology. And it's not, you don't even need the supercomputers that, take up 2 rooms of a house somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it all with a laptop now.
Yeah.
It's really frightening.
Yeah. The things you can create just in Photoshop.
Yeah. The things I've created in Photoshop. If you know what I'm saying.
Don't go through his files, his saved files. It's really nasty.
By the way, smacking duck, Brad, do you know that any dog you adopt from a shelter is called a rescue, right? Yeah, I get that. I rescued a pet from the shelter, but a boxer, Ron referred to it as a boxer rescue.
Yeah.
Not just a.
Well, there are German Shepherd rescues, boxer rescues, and it's amazing to me that someone would let a dog like this one become have the need to be rescued. It's just crazy.
Well, again, the greyhound industry, because of like in Florida where they outlawed greyhound racing.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now you can rescue. You go down there because apparently when they're done with those dogs, they just kick them out on the streets.
Yeah.
And I get that. So I didn't realize. I just didn't know that there was an entire like boxers needed rescuing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they eventually get too old to fight. They get a broken nose, the whole thing.
They all. I mean, there's a.
It was low hanging fruit.
That was very good, Brad.
Right.
Very good.
And Mojo Jedi does say typically the dog does always get the blame when somebody smells bad.
Not me. Not in my home.
If
it's bad, if it's really bad, that's something I'm like, yeah, I made that.
You take the blame?
I made that.
Or you take the credit?
It's not blame, it's credit at that point in time. You got to be proud of what you create. And if it is that bad that it runs people out of a room, then you need to stand up and be like, yes.
Take a bow.
Yeah.
Take your bow.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, this is good news for Robert Kraft, bad news for us. The Kraft massage parlor video release has been banned for now.
No!
A judge says it will not be released until the case against the owner is resolved. Come on, resolve the case.
I resolve this case, man.
Remember the day that you read the affidavit, the police affidavit?
I did.
And it read like a novel.
It really did.
Oh.
It was a page turner. Let me tell you.
All about 3 pages.
Man, 3 pages
was it like
of it.
7 minutes from the time you walked into the door? And
it was a roller coaster story filled with twists and turns and yanks. And what was the woman's name again?
I don't remember her name, but it was Real Orchid. The Real Orchid, right? Day Spa?
Yeah. Or something Orchid. Yeah.
A video that police say shows New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft paying a massage parlor worker for sex. Okay. Was that sex? I thought
there was no sex involved.
I thought that we had concluded nearly 20-some years ago, or 20-ish years ago, that it in fact isn't sex.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the president told us? Yeah. I mean, there was no...
Technically, I didn't know it.
Right.
So, guess what? Robert Kraft gets to operate by the same rules.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong. Robert Kraft did nothing wrong.
They are not going to publicly release it because it would ruin his chance for a fair trial.
Okay. Understood.
Circuit Court Judge Leonard Hanser.
Really? That's his name. Hanser.
I'm the biggest kid in 5th grade.
Your Honor, I was just getting a Hanser, nothing more.
Hold on. You're getting a what?
I'm getting a Hanser.
Thank you. I gotta put all these on one page. It's hard to
being represented by.
He accepted oral arguments by Kraft's attorney that releasing the video would likely make it impossible to seat a jury for his trial. Misdemeanor prostitution trial. Misdemeanor? I barely know her. Thank you.
Is the jury going to see Hansers? Or the Hanser?
Hold on. I don't know. He said the video shouldn't be handed to the news media as a public record until the jury is seated. A plea argument is reached for the state.
You might
drops
want to
the case.
sit down for this. Before we roll out, Hanser, sit down.
Sit down. Hanser wrote that under normal circumstances, an older man allegedly paying for sexual services would be a rather tawdry but fairly unremarkable event. But if that man is the owner of the most successful franchise, arguably in the most popular professional sport in the United States, an entirely different dynamic arises. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, okay, here's the argument. So if they've released the video now and you see Robert Kraft laying down, getting the Hanser, I mean, it's public knowledge. You see him laying there.
Yeah.
How does that taint?
There is no
taint.
How does that taint a jury? Because if it is what happened, I mean, it's a video record of what happened.
Look, I'm sorry. Look, if I saw a 70-year-old something guy getting a Hanser.
How much would you pay?
No, that's not where I'm going. If I saw that in a jury, my first reaction would be, look, the dude is 75. Right. Chances are he's not going to be able to get much more than that without a very large amount of money being paid, and he has needs. I feel bad for the guy. I think that if he paid a certain amount to get a Hanser,
right,
and nobody was hurt,
hey,
let the guy go. Stay out of this business.
So what you're saying is that he should get off on these charges.
Brad,
thank you. I know. I win.
Good Lord.
Well, given our previous story about your inability to trust your eyes.
Yeah.
What's to say that's not
somebody? Well, who's to say that somebody didn't take the time to sit down and very detailed animation show a 75-year-old team owner getting a Hanser by a rando Asian lady?
It's an arguable defense. It is absolutely an arguable defense, I would think, because. Well, the video was never out of our... Yeah, but you can hack into a computer system. Mm-hmm. Ask a 16-year-old. They can do it.
Yep.
I mean, what...
hacker, man.
And again, it's putting aside the argument, it's against the law to do it. What are we really... What are we really accomplishing by spending taxpayer money?
Who are you protecting right now? Who are you protecting? That's what I want to look. I do not. I understand that if prostitution needs to be regulated so that people aren't just randomly spreading diseases left and right.
Yeah, because nobody likes diseases.
Think about it in companion rules and Firefly. They have standards. They have things that they have to do in order to basically be a registered prostitute. Which
gotta wash your hands
for one. Wash that definitely.
Wash your hands,
among other things.
Right.
But this is one of the things that I've always kind of wondered: who is prostitution hurting? Who is prostitution hurting at the end of the day? Now, you could say, well, what about, married men who...
And that costs extra, by the way.
Who, cheat on their wives. Well, that's a personal decision. The people who drink and go home and, they're drunks and they tear their family apart with it is also a personal decision. Should we outlaw alcohol again?
Right.
This is one of those things. It is not my business. It's not your business to tell people what they can and can't do with their bodies or what kind of business, between person to person they can engage in.
can't legislate morality.
Exactly.
You can try.
So if Homeboy wants to get a Hanser at 75, I think he's earned it.
Because you know what he says when he walks in there.
I'm sexy and I know it.
You know, this is a perfect time to talk to you about Patriot Mobile. Maybe not in Patriot Mobile's eyes, but it is in mine.
Let's definitely talk about our sponsors while Facebook is silencing us.
Patriot Mobile doesn't care what you do either. They don't care where you go. They don't care what you do. They just care that you pay your bill on time every month.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair, too, if you're going to get a service from anybody.
Exactly. That's not too much to ask.
Well, it ties right back into it, doesn't it? So, just look, you pay your bill every month to Patriot Mobile. You get your cell phone service through Patriot Mobile, and you are not funding those progressive and those leftist causes like Planned Parenthood. You're not funding abortions. You are not. You're not basically giving money to organizations that you don't support on a moral basis, a political basis, or any other basis for that matter. You are actually apportioning your bill every month because Patriot Mobile donates to these causes, giving to the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving to the Susan B. Anthony. I'm doing this all by memory. That's how impressive I am.
Nice, Brad.
You are. Hold on. Hang on. The Heritage. I was right. Susan B. Anthony list. Thank you. Why did I ever doubt myself? The Heritage Foundation and others. Plus, you're getting great cellular coverage. And you can check that, too, before you make the plunge. I mean, that's a nice thing about they're so transparent. You can go there. There's right there on their front page. Not only does it say America's only conservative cell phone company, but you can click on the little button there. It says check coverage. So you can find out what the coverage is where you live.
Mm-hmm.
I've told this story before. In Nashville, I could see the damn cell tower from my house and got sucky to cell service because I was on the side of a hill and it like bounced back and canceled itself out. So, I mean, you don't know. I would not sign up for Patriot Mobile if I wasn't going to get good coverage.
Right.
I mean, that'd be stupid.
Yeah.
So check the coverage. Find out if you're going to get good coverage in your area. You can bring your phone, your old phone number. You can get a new one. You can get a brand spanking new number for you, fresh out of the oven. Or if you have your vanity number you want to take with you, like Brandon does. 800 call me sexy.
That's 100% accurate.
Right? I mean, that's how I don't have to have him as a contact to my phone. I just dial 1-800 call me sexy.
Yeah.
And it dials right to his phone.
I am trying to take off the option, like, do you speak Spanish? Press 2.
Right. Yeah, you do get a lot.
But I do try to serve everyone equally, and it's better for business.
So you service everyone equally?
I service with a smile, Brad.
It's a good thing there's only 4 minutes left of this. I'm starting to feel drunk. Go to Patriot. I think, you know what it is? I think it's the ethanol leaking from the train.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wafted in here, and I think we've been inhaling it, and I think that's what's doing it because I feel goofy all of a sudden.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I don't know what it is. See, Ron's got his finger on the button in there.
He's like waiting. He's like, can we just do this? Because I'm sitting in here and fart gas.
He is poised to end this
and I want to leave.
Yeah. PatriotMobile.com, and I guess use promo code MoJo. If they ask you for a promo, try promo code MoJo. See if that works. That's what I would do if I were you. PatriotMobile.com. Wow. By the way, Handicap Jeff did a better job at that yesterday, Ron, just so you know.
What do you mean it's let's go?
That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that if you bite me, I'll eat you. Same cost, $20, same as downtown. We learned that apparently trains have it out for Haltom City and its residents.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. We also learned that we call it Revolutionary Wednesday for a reason. And if you don't like it, bite me. And then I'll eat you. See how it all comes full circle?
I like that. I like that.
The Brandon Morse from RedState.com. Click on his articles, make him a happy man. What, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned that Hanser is a great reason to be in court. If you go, there you go. If you go to court, it's likely because you got a Hanser.
Right.
What else did I learn today?
I have no idea.
I completely forgot. Yeah, if we do come down to civil war,
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
Mike. If it does come down to Civil War, it will be literally hilarious to watch. Quite literally hilarious to watch.
Thank you.
Let's see. What did our listeners learn today?
I don't know.
I will
That's your
tell you,
job.
Brad. I'll tell you. Rye Bread said, "Don't suck. It'll go limp." Kirk slightly venomous.
Okay, that isn't even low-hanging fruit. That was just... That was dog fart. That's all that was. That wasn't even good.
Kirk slightly venomous jackal said, when Ron is leaking gas, he has to be an ass. His rescue wasn't a guppy, so that he could blame a puppy.
Who did that? Was that a guy?
Kirk slightly venomous jackal.
Don't. Poetry, really?
I enjoyed it, Kirk. I enjoyed it.
Smirking, smacking, whatever the hell Duck is today. He'll have something to say about that.
Sir Rat Bastard II said, don't bite Brad Staggs. He'll eat you.
I know. We already learned that.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Let's see here. Where's my count? Where's my bell count?
Oh, damn. Did Ray tell me that Leprechaun did not go for like a jog on the railroad tracks?
Oh, God. Tell me he didn't. Wait, hang on.
Did you find it?
Hang on. Wait for it. I'm sure he's typing it up now.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure he's typing it up now. Where is he? I feel naked right now. I don't know what to do. Without the bell count, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, Brad.
Jeez.
I'm going to go get a Hanser after this.
Jeez. The issue with prostitution is the women and children who are trafficked. If that could be eliminated, I would agree. Yes, of course. That's what we've always said, Lady Hecate.
Mm-hmm.
She told me how to pronounce it, too, when she was here, and I still can't remember if it's Hecate. I agree. If it's sex trafficking, bad.
Yeah.
Prostitution? That's your own business.
But this is why I think, actually having it connected instead of just illegal, connected to, regulation and standards.
Although, do you really want the government regulating the best feeling on earth?
Oh, you got me. You got me with that.
They would find a way to screw it up.
They will ruin it. They will absolutely ruin it.
They will F it up.
They'll make you sign consent forms.
Yes.
Make you film it just in case.
Right. I mean, it is, I believe, after all, the government who brought us the four-handed condom.
You think? Oh, really?
You've not seen the four-handed?
No, I have not.
Oh,
I've heard about it, but I have not seen it.
We must get a four-handed condom in here.
Okay, so if anyone gets their hands on one, Suspicious Package Friday is right around the corner.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And we will display it.
Yes. I will actually. Not only will we will actually show you how it works. Anyway, we'll get to the new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson and Leprechaun return from their vacation. Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You get a shot of being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
I'm sexy.
You're horrible. You're a horrible person.